It's the final game of the league first half, and it comes your way from back home. Good evening, everyone, and welcome into Sinsheimer Stadium for yet another rendition of Blues versus Foresters. For the first time in over 3 weeks, we can finally say it. The Blues are on a winning streak. After dropping Game 1 to the Oaks here at home, the Blues traveled to Thousand Oaks and won back-to-back games to take the series. Until the win yesterday, the Blues hadn't won consecutive games since they swept the Riptide in Orange County. All it took for the Blues to get over the hump was the best offensive performance they've had all summer. SLO scored 11 runs in the rubber match victory, the most runs the Blues have scored in a league game, and just the second time they put up double digits. The Blues now have wrapped up play with the Oaks this summer, getting over the hump against the Conejo in the final matchup against the Oaks this year. Now the Blues turn their attention back to another team that has given them some trouble in the past. It's the Santa Barbara Foresters. The Foresters continue to control first place in the CCL South, and it took a big series win against the Blues to keep them there. Last week, the Foresters took 2 of 3 from the Blues in a thrilling series that saw both of the first 2 games go to extra innings. Pitching was phenomenal for both sides, but Santa Barbara's arms were able to outlast SLO's in the end. The Foresters have won 4 games in a row and will look to make it 5 tonight in their last visit to Sinsheimer Stadium this summer. Can the Blues end the first half strong with a rivalry win, or will the Foresters keep their momentum heading into the break? Find out next with first pitch coming up next on the SLO Blues streaming network. Hello, everybody, as we welcome you into the broadcast booth. I'm Jack Smith. It's Jersey night here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The MLB has now gone into their All-Star break. We're about a game away from going into the own break here in the CCL South. The last game for the Blues here at home, and also before they head on to the 2-day break. We'll have a couple of the guys heading to the showcase game. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but the Blues rounding out the first half here against the Foresters at home. The last time this thing happened, it was Blues and Foresters in front of 2,466 fans. The game was scoreless through 9, and the Blues lost it in extra innings. So they're looking for a little bit of revenge for that game and for the series loss that was wrapped up in Santa Barbara. We've got first pitch and national anthem coming up next. We'll be right back on the SLO Blues streaming network. Hello and welcome back to Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues are taking the field, which means we're almost ready for baseball here on the SLO Blues streaming network. First pitch, national anthem coming up, and we'll let you take a listen.
Finishing up the lineup, wearing number 50 from Cal Poly Pomona, it's Darius Price. On the mound tonight, the right-hander from Gonzaga University, wearing number 40, it's Justin Feld. Blues are led by Dean Traynor. He is assisted by Steve Tolley, Brian Traynor, Rene Regalado, and Max Lober. the national anthem. If you would please stand and kindly remove your hats. Here is our national anthem sung by SLO Blues.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Another gorgeous national anthem here on a beautiful day in San Luis Obispo. We're just about ready for baseball. Here's the starting lineup for the Santa Barbara Foresters. It starts, as we've seen always, with Daniel Patterson leading things off. The first baseman from Westmont starts the ball game yet again against the Blues. Max Ballou with a .403 average to lead the CCL South, bats second. The right fielder from Texas has caused havoc on tons of CCL South pitchers. Eamon Lance gets to start, the DH from Santa Clara. He bats third. Will Rogers, the Arizona State left fielder, hits in the cleanup spot. It's Anthony Silva making his debut against the Blues. The shortstop from TCU hits in the 5 spot. Jalen Flores moves over to second from Texas. He hits 6th. Rocco Garza-Gongora, the Oklahoma center fielder, hits in the 7th spot. It's Rylan Galvan, the catcher from Texas, who hits 8th. And rounding things out, Jake Kendrow, the third baseman from Tennessee. On the hill for your San Luis Obispo Blues, it's Justin Feld, the 6-foot, 190-pound right-hander from Gonzaga, has made one appearance for the Blues so far. It came in a start against the Foresters out on the road in Santa Barbara last week. He threw 2 innings, gave up 1 earned run. He threw a lot of pitches, but he looked pretty good after getting through the first inning. Dean Trainer limited him in that first start, and now on just a little bit of rest, he's able to throw for a second time for the Blues, and the Foresters will see him for a second time. It's Patterson, Ballou, and Lance due up here in the first inning. Final game here between the Foresters and the Blues at home for San Luis Obispo. There's one more on the schedule, last game of the summer in Santa Barbara, but this is the last time that Blues fans will see Foresters here at Sinsheimer Stadium. As Justin Feld continues to warm up, we'll walk you through the defense for your San Luis Obispo Blues. It's Jariah Lewis in left field, then Burns back to center. Matt Massiangelo gets the start in right. Right side of the infield is Hanson and Ruley. Left side, Darcy and Ricken. Bold catches, and Darius Price is today's DH. So Justin Feld will toe the hill. It's Patterson, Ballou, Lance here in the last game of the first half. Top of the first inning. Foresters and Blues yet again. The fourth game that these teams have played against each other in the last week. As we're used to seeing Daniel Patterson lead things off. The 0-0 from Feld. Patterson takes the slider on the outside corner. And no balls and 1 strike. Patterson had an excellent series when the Blues and the Foresters met. Hit leadoff every day, and I feel like every day you looked up, he was on base 2 or 3 times. Feld trying to retire him here. 0-1. He takes another strike, another perfect breaking ball in the outside corner. 0-2. Patterson, a .328 hitter, 6 runs batted in. First baseman from Westmont College. So Feld stares down his glove. 0-2. Patterson strikes out swinging. Justin Feld strikes out Patterson on 3 pitches, and that's how this game gets started. So 1 away. First pitch was exactly at 6:05 p.m., and the out was retired in less than a minute. Justin Feld made quick work of the first baseman from Westmont. And here's Max Ballou, the right fielder from Texas. And Max Ballou, the left-handed hitting right fielder. He's been excellent so far this season for the Foresters. The Blues handled him pretty well, and then he went on an absolute tear across the 3-game series against the Barons. As he takes a slider on the outside corner, 0-1. Ballou has raised his average to .403. 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in. He now leads the entire CCL South in batting average. Feld from the windup, kicks and deals. And Ballou takes on the inside corner. 5 straight strikes from Feld, and it's 0-2. The Blues, they went right after Ballou in that 3-game series, and basically every Blues pitcher pitched well against him. The 0-2. That's inside. And then Ballou, once the Blues are gone, remembers that he's one of the best hitters in this conference, and he just dominated the Barons. Foresters have won 4 straight, including that 3-game sweep of the Academy. Blues coming off their first series win in 3 weeks. 1-2 here. And Ballou pops it foul the other way, so still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Feld transferring to Gonzaga from Tacoma Community College. 6-foot, 190-pound right-hander. Second start for the Blues, second start for him against the Foresters. And a 1-2. Ballou takes a little bit low with a changeup, 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, Feld's first start, he pitched pretty well, but he did run into some trouble in the first inning, caused him to use a lot of pitches, so that was one of the reasons he didn't go deeper in that game. Gave up a run in the first. 2-2 here. Ballou strikes out swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the ball game from Justin Feld, and they're 2 away. So he's making quicker work here in the first inning of this ball game. First inning, the last time he was out, he gave up a single to Patterson. Patterson immediately came around to score after stealing 2 bases. Then there was a 14-pitch walk with a 2-hole hitter, Jake Kendrow. He bared down after that, but with the run across, the pitch count up, he wasn't able to go much deeper into the game. Here's Eamon Lance, who checks his swing on a fastball across the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. And Feld just throwing nothing but strikes to start these at-bats. It's Eamon Lance, the DH from Santa Clara. 316 average. 0-1. Lance swings and misses at the top of the zone. No balls and 2 strikes. 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in to lead the team for Lance. And Lance and Ballou, both with 3 bombs, tied for the lead in the CCL South. An 0-2 count. Feld from the windup. He kicks and deals, and he misses just high. That fastball was close, but Lance watches it a bit above the zone. So now a 1-2 count. 2 outs here in the first. Foresters and Blues. Feld, the 1-2. He struck him out. Justin Feld strikes out the side in the first, and we had bottom 1 still scoreless on the SLO Blues streaming network. We're here in the bottom of the first from Sinsheimer Stadium. Justin Feld struck out the side in the top half of the frame, so the Blues are coming up to bat. Here's the starting lineup for your San Luis Obispo Blues. It's Nin Burns, the center fielder from Cal Poly Pomona, to lead things off. Jacob Rulli, the Cal State Bakersfield second baseman, hits second. Jariah Lewis, fresh off his grand slam, a game-winning blast yesterday. The left fielder from San Jose State hits third. JT Ricken, the third baseman from Oregon, cleans things up. It's Jake Bold, the catcher from Princeton, in the 5 spot. Jason Hansen, the first baseman from UC Davis, who had an excellent game in the rubber match against the Oaks. Rewarded by being back in the lineup, he hit 6th. Matt Massiangelo, the Cal State Bakersfield right fielder, hit 7th. It's Cody Darcy, the Arkansas State shortstop, at 8. And Darius Price, the DH from Cal Poly Pomona, rounds things out in the 9th spot. On the hill for the Santa Barbara Foresters is Hunter Watkins, the 6'9", 235-pound right-hander from GCU, carries a 0.77 earned run average across 11.2 innings pitched into this ball game. He's been electric. He'll head to GCU next year, and he has been just phenomenal so far for the Foresters. And he'll try and match what Justin Feld did in his first inning of work. Feld struck out the side, didn't throw a fastball below 92 miles an hour. And now it's the 6'9" Watkins to face Burns, Ruley, and Lewis here in the bottom of the first. Oh, well. And that's on the outside corner with a fastball. If I'm not mistaken, we were told that Nin Burns was leading this ball game off. This is Jariah Lewis. So I guess a little a late lineup change for Dean Traynor and a quick 0-2 count on Jariah Lewis. We have not seen that really at all from Traynor this year. I wonder if Burns is switched out in general or whether Lewis and him switch spots. Either way, here's the San Jose State center fielder, and Lewis chops it foul on a check swing, 0-2. And we've never seen this year, so I guess we'll figure it out when the 3 spot comes up. But Jariah Lewis, who was slotted to play left field today and hit third, he's leading this game off. 0-2 on the way. And Lewis ropes it on the ground. One hop to the second baseman, Flores. He gloves, throws, and it's in time. And Nin Burns isn't coming out in the on-deck circle. So there was a big change in this lineup. And we're going to have to figure that out. There's one away. Jariah Lewis is retired. We'll try and figure out who that is on deck. It looks like it's Matt Massiangelo on deck, and Massiangelo was supposed to hit 7th in this game. So Dean Traynor, a complete lineup adjustment. Would have been nice to know. So Jacob Ruley here bats second. He was slotted to hit in this spot. 0-0 on the way. And Ruley takes a fastball in the outside corner from Watkins. No balls and 1 strike. We did see Burns take a tumble and crash into the wall yesterday at Conejo. And he ended up playing the rest of the game. Said he was fine, but I wonder if he was scratched from the lineup here as Ruley lines it into left. The base hit. So Massiangelo, who was slotted to hit 7th, comes up 3rd with a runner at first. A nice job there by Ruley to wait on the fastball and lined it straight into left. So Massiangelo hits 3rd. This is a complete flip-flop for the Blues. And Dean Traynor has not done this all season, so it must be a situation where Burns was maybe not fit to play in this ball game. I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out as this game goes on. Jacob Ruley with a leadoff first. Here's Matt Massiangelo, 364 average, 3 runs batted in for the CSU Bakersfield Roadrunner. 0-0. And Massiangelo takes a fastball on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. So Jacob Ruley, a leadoff first, 6 for 6 on stolen base attempts. 0-1 the count on Matt Massiangelo as we try and work through the lineup change here in the first. 0-1 on the way. Massiangelo takes a breaking ball late. Steal attempt from Ruley, and he swipes the bag. The Roadrunner takes off late, and he swipes second base. A 1-1 count on Massiangelo, and a runner in scoring position for the Blues here in the first. Jacob Ruley with the delayed steal, and with the ball being off the outside corner, Galvan had to frame it, and by the time he realized that Ruley was running, no chance to catch the speedy second baseman. RBI opportunity now for Massiangelo. He's got 3 knocked in so far this summer. 1-1 the count with 1 out. It's a Roadrunner at second base, another Roadrunner at the plate. Watkins look back to second. Now he kicks and fires, and Massiangelo takes a fastball on the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 89-mile-an-hour fastball right off that outside corner for Watkins, and a 1-2 count on the right fielder. JT Ricken stands on deck. He was always slotted to hit cleanup, so no change there. A 1-2 count on Massiangelo. Watkins a long look in at Galvan, his catcher. 1-2 the count. He now comes set. Glove held under his chin. He deals, and Massiangelo takes the breaking ball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Ruley with a single and a stolen base. He's put himself in scoring position here in the first. The Blues, and the last time that they played the Foresters here at home, stranded 2 runners in scoring position in the first inning, and they'd end up not scoring the entire game. They don't want deja vu here at Sinsheimer Stadium. 2-2 the count. Runner at second, 1 out. Watkins looks back at a dancing Rulli. No pick off. Here's the pitch. And Massiangelo fights it foul. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think just as a guess that Nin Burns, who was injured in yesterday's game but stayed in, I think it was a late scratch where Dean Traynor didn't want to push it, and Burns out of this ball game. So I would assume that we'll see Jariah Lewis as the actual center fielder, and someone later down in the order, maybe in Massiangelo's 7th spot, playing another outfield position. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Massiangelo at the plate. Rulli leading off second. Blues trying to strike first here from Sinsheimer Stadium. Bottom 1, 1 out. A flash to second, and it's a balk. The 6'9 Watkins balks, and now Jacob Rulli advances to third. A run 90 feet away for the Blues here in the first. And Rulli, who was dancing off the second base bag the entire time, gets the GCU commit to cave. Oh, now that's a big piece of base running from Rulli. He stole second, gets third on the balk. And now Massiangelo, if he can put a ball deep enough in the air, maybe hit a ground ball up the middle, can put the Blues on the board here in the first. Now Watkins really needs to bear down a pure strikeout spot. Watkins came into this game 6 strikeouts and 11 2/3. Pitches to contact. 2-2. Massiangelo ropes it into right field, base hit. In comes Jacob Rulli to score. Back-to-back hits for the Blues, and it's 1-0 here in the first. So the Blues, who exploded for their highest run total of league play yesterday with 11 runs, they've got a run here in the first, and it seems like the hitting that was so contagious out in Conejo this weekend is carrying over here onto Monday. Back-to-back hits for 2 CSU Bakersfield Roadrunners, and the Blues on the board first. JT Ricken comes up now with Massiangelo at first. Ricken, the third baseman from Oregon, a .222 average, 2 runs batted in. Second game since coming back from injury after playing in yesterday's contest. Oh well. And Ricken takes the breaking ball on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. This just looks like a completely different Blues squad at the plate than the last time that they played the Foresters. Santa Barbara's Arms really dominated Blues hitters during that series as the hitting left the pitching down, and the 0-1 breaking ball misses inside. Then the Blues had the series against the Oaks, and it seemed like they straightened things out over the last couple games, winning back-to-back for the first time in 3 weeks, including the 11-run output in yesterday's game. And now they're ahead of the Foresters, a spot that they weren't all that often in that series. 1-1 as Watkins picks to first. Back in there is Massiangelo. So Massiangelo's 4th run batted in knocks in Rulli. And it's really the base running that sets it up, as Jacob Rulli caused havoc on the base paths, comes in to score the first run. Watkins stares in. Now comes set just above his shoulders. Another pick to first. It's in the dirt, but a nice dig by Patterson, and Massiangelo dives back in with ease. So Galvan, a quick chat with Watkins. Watkins gave up the hit to Rulli, the stolen base as well on the delayed steal by Jacob Rulli, and then the balk, which is really what allowed the runner to move over to third. Massiangelo could have brought him in with an out up the middle, maybe a deep enough fly ball, but picked up a hit, which is even better for the Blues. Runner at first, 1 out, bottom of the first, already a run in. 1-1. Ricken takes a fastball center cut, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ricken coming off that foot injury. Played pretty well the other day. Got on base a couple of times. Now back in the lineup for Dean Traynor playing third. And a 1-2 count here in the first inning. Watkins comes set and comes home. Ricken swings and misses at the breaking ball. Strikeout number 1 for Watkins, and they're 2 away. So now with 2 outs, it's Jake Bold, the catcher from Princeton. .250 average for the backstop. 2 runs batted in. He's got Massiangelo at first, now 2 outs. And Watkins is an out away from getting out of the first inning and bringing the Foresters bats back up against Justin Feld. Oh, Bold checks his swing and lines it off the netting right above the Blues dugout. Didn't want to go around, but it glanced right off his bat. And now he takes a walk, a little frustrated. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count, 2 outs here in the first inning. Blues already on the board. It's 1-0 San Luis Obispo here in the first. Watkins, the tall GCU commit, deals a curveball a little bit inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bold, the right-handed hitter, back of the box. Long hold from Watkins and the 1-1. It's another curveball. It bends Bold all the way down into a squat, and it misses a little inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. I think Bold thought that was the fastball coming right at his head. 2-1 the count. It's Massiangelo at first. Picked up the RBI to knock in the lone Blues run here in the first inning. 2-1 on the way. And Bold hits it into the right center field gap. That's going to fall for extra bases. Charging around second is Massiangelo. He's being waved in by Steve Tully. A relay throw from the second baseman Flores, and at the last second, Massiangelo heads back to the third base bag. It's a double for Jake Bold. Blues have runners at second and third. Third hit of the inning for the Blues. Massiangelo was being waved in all the way by Steve Tully at third base, and he got about halfway down the line before putting on the brakes, heading back to the third base bag. So the double by Bold, but it doesn't score a run. And now Jason Hansen comes up. A big opportunity for the Blues to make a statement here in the first. It's already 1-0, but 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Jason Hansen, the first baseman from UC Davis, hitting .261 with 2 runs batted in. As we mentioned, had an excellent game yesterday at first base against the Oaks. Trying to build on that today. 0-0. And Hansen takes a breaking ball in the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. Hansen raised his batting average over 50 points. Now hitting .261. Also was a phenomenal defender at first. He's now 6 for 23 in league play. 1 walk, 2 runs batted in. 0-1 from Watkins. And Hansen takes another breaking ball. Back-to-back breakers from Watkins, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Rulli has already scored in this inning. Right now it is Massiangelo at the third base bag, and Jake Bold, who doubled at second. Watkins trying to bear down for the final out here in the first. 0-2, 2 outs. And time is called. So Jason Hansen calls time before the 0-2 pitch, readjusts the batting gloves and the grip on his black wooden bat, and steps back in. Watkins kicks and fires. Hansen lines it right back up the middle, another base hit for the Blues. Jake Bold being waved in. Here's Garza Gongora's throw. It's a little wide, and it's 3-0. RBI single for Jason Hansen, and the Blues have scored 3 here in the first. What's gotten into these Blues? A carryover from the Conejo series, and the Blues on the board here with 3 in the first inning. It's already 3-0 here at home. 4th hit for the Blues in the inning, and Hansen picks up RBIs number 3 and 4, and he continues his hot tear, picking up where he left off.
Blues baseball possible on the Central Coast include Kimberly's Global Real Estate, Walsh Engineering, Community West Bank.
So now a chat at the mound. It's the pitching coach, Rick Hubbard, out on the hill to talk with Hunter Watkins. Watkins came into this game with a 0.77 earned run average, and he's allowed 3 runs with only 2 outs here in the first. And that is a big swing by Jason Hansen to put the Blues up by 3. So here's the change that we were expecting. It's Giovanni Blanchette who is coming into this game. I believe he will play right field for Massiangelo, or left field potentially, with Lewis moving to center. But with Burns out of this game and Lewis moving over to center field and hitting leadoff, it's Giovanni Blanchette who takes over in Massiangelo's 7th spot and swings at the first pitch, fouls it off. No balls and 1 strike. So that should be the extent of the changes. Lewis moves up from 3-1. Massiangelo moves up from 7-3. And it's Giovanni Blanchette who's entering in one of the corner outfield spots. 0-1 on the way, And Blanchette takes a breaking ball, called strike 2 on the inside corner. Blues have scored 3 here in the first. Last game between the Blues and Foresters here at Sinsheimer Stadium, and the Blues are on top early. Watkins kicks and fires, and Blanchette nubs it foul towards his own dugout. Still no balls and 2 strikes. 3 runs in the first. Ruley, Lewis, and Bold have all scored. 4 hits here in the first inning. Ruley singled, Mastiangelo singled, the Bold double, and the Hansen single. Watkins stares in for his side. A quick glance back at first. That's Hansen there. 0-2. And Blanchette takes the breaking ball high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 with Watkins on the hill. He's already allowed the 3 runs here in the first. Pitch on the way. And Blanchette takes strike 3 call. So 2 strikeouts for Watkins, with the Blues score 3 runs. As we head to the second, it's 3-0 Blues on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top of the second, Blues lead it by 3 as Justin Fell now pitching with a 3-run lead. It's Will Rogers to lead things off, and he chases the breaking ball down low. No balls and 1 strike. The Blues score 3 in the first off of the starting pitcher Hunter Watkins for the Foresters. 4 hits for San Luis Obispo after the Blues scored 11 runs yesterday, 3 in the first. And it's Rogers, Silva, Flores here in the second. Feld deals a breaking ball low, and this time Rogers takes 1-1. Justin Feld struck out the side in the first inning. Didn't throw a fastball below 92 miles an hour, and he got Patterson, Ballou, and Lance all down swinging. 1-1 here with Rogers, the left fielder from Arizona State, and that breaking ball's a little inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rogers is a .294 hitter, 9 runs batted in. The Blues handled him awfully well in the series they played against the Foresters last week. A lot of sliders against the big, tall righty. 2-1, and Rogers takes outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Got to think in the mind of Justin Feld. He went out there, was trying to make sure that he didn't give up a run in the first, ended up striking out the side. Then when he goes back on the hill, he's pitching with a lead for the first time in his Blues career. 3-1 to Rogers. And Rogers swings, breaks his bat on a looping liner into right center. It falls for a base hit. First of the day for the Foresters. And Rogers around first with a leadoff single. So here in the top of the second, a base runner, the first of the day for the Foresters. It's Anthony Silva who will come up now. First time that we have seen Silva, the shortstop from TCU this season, as the Horned Frogs went to Omaha. Silva was there for a while, and he's just recently joined the Foresters. And this is a player that I'm sure the Foresters are happy to have. He had an excellent freshman season at TCU this past year, and he comes up top of the second with a runner at first. 0-0, and Silva takes right to the top of the zone, 0-1. Silva hit .330 across 61 starts as a freshman for the Horned Frogs. 7 home runs, 50 runs batted in. So far for the Foresters, he's 2 for 9. Rogers leads off first. Feld working from the stretch. He kicks and fires. Silva shoots it foul the other way. No balls and 2 strikes. So the first time the Blues are seeing Silva, the first time we get to see him as well. With a freshman season like that, this is a guy that could be a big draft prospect in a little bit. MLB draft happened yesterday. No Blues or Foresters taken. But everyone, it seemed like, on the bus back from Conejo yesterday either knew a guy or knew a guy who knew a guy that got taken in the first round. 0-2. Silva takes strike 3 call. The 4th strikeout for Feld, just the 4th out of the game. And there's one away here in the second. So Feld with a 4th strikeout. And here's Jalen Flores, the second baseman from Texas. We saw Flores play nearly every game in the last series at shortstop. And now with Silva in, Flores the shift over to second base, staying up the middle as a pick goes to first, and Rogers is back in. So the second baseman hitting 6th in this ball game. Flores a .231 average with a home run, 2 runs batted in. Jake Bold fixing the shin guard. Feld, I'm not sure that I saw this coming, frankly. Feld only went the 2 innings against the Foresters, struck out 2, but he's got 4 strikeouts for his first 4 outs in this game. First pitch from Feld to Flores, and Flores takes a little bit low with a breaking ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Want to know the count with Jalen Flores at the plate after Silva struck out looking. 4 strikeouts for Feld, runner at first, 1 out here in the second. Rogers a big lead, and now Feld steps off. And he sensed that Rogers was jumping off the bag. So a nice move there by Feld to keep the base runner there. Blues stole 2 bases in the first. Also forced the balk on Hunter Watkins, the starter. That's one of the big reasons the Blues were able to come across to score the 3 runs. Feld comes set, and he steps off once again. Rogers is right back, and the Foresters are jarring a little bit with Justin Feld, telling him to bring it home. Rogers is 6 for 7 on stolen base attempts, so you can understand why Feld may be a little bit wary of the Arizona State left fielder taking off. Good speed for the tall right-handed hitter who led off the inning with a single. 1-0. Flores takes high with a fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0 the count. Flores, one of 3 Texas Longhorns in this lineup. We've already seen Ballou, who the one hitting over 400, leading the CCL South. And Rylan Galvan is in the hole right now. 2-0 count. Feld deals. Flores behind on the fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike. 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Feld right above the hands. Feld dishing in some of the fastest fastballs that we have seen the Blues throw this year. 2-1 the count on Jalen Flores. Feld deals. Flores takes, strike 2 call. Justin Feld just continues to go after the Foresters, and he's a strike away from strikeout number 5 here in just the second inning. Two balls, 2 strikes. Feld looks in at Bold, kicks and fires, and he struck him out. 5 strikeouts for Justin Feld for the first 5 outs, and there's 2 away here in the second inning. So with 2 outs, here's Rocco Garza-Gongora, the center fielder from Oklahoma. .224 average, 5 runs batted in for the center fielder slash first baseman. We've seen him play both positions, and not very often you can say that about a guy. But athleticism off the charts for Garza-Gongora. He comes up here with 2 outs and bounces it to first. So right at Jason Hansen, it's out number 3, the first out, and that's not via a strikeout. 2 more Ks for Feld in the top of the second. As we head bottom 2, it's still 3-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. back up here, bottom 2. It's Cody Darcy to lead things off for San Luis Obispo. 3-0 lead for the Blues. And the shortstop from Arkansas State swings at the first pitch. No balls and 1 strike. 8-9-1 due up for the Blues. As we saw in the first, it's not Nin Burns leading off. It's Jariah Lewis who will be in the hole. 0-1. And Darcy takes a breaking ball outside. 1-1 the count. Watkins from the windup. He allowed 3 runs on 4 hits in the first after coming into this ballgame with a .77 earned run average. As Darcy takes a strike with the curveball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Darcy hitting 167 with an RBI so far this summer. Took a break to head back home. Now he's back. Second game back in the Blues lineup. And he takes a strike 3 call pitch on the outside corner. A paralysis fastball from Watkins. 1 out here in the second. So now it'll be Darius Price, the DH from Cal Poly Pomona. Price, a 100 hitter with 3 walks so far. Still looking for his first league homer, league run batted in. We've seen that in non-league play, Price has the potential to be a much better hitter than a 100 average. Big home run in non-league play. He also hit a walk-off against the Ventura County Pirates as Watkins deals a curveball in 0-1. I think if the Blues, after the 3-run first, were expecting Watkins to just kind of give up after that, they're not going to get that. Watkins is a competitive kid. He's going to dish it out for the rest of the game because he knows with his offense and the potential that they have, they can get the 3 runs back whenever they really want. So Watkins is going to try and make life tough the rest of the way for the Blues, not just roll over after the first. 9-hole hitter for the Blues as Watkins steps off. Oh, 2 from Watkins. Here it is. And Price chases outside the zone. Strike 3 on the swing and miss. So that's the 4th strikeout from Watkins as he's doing his best to match Justin Feld. 2 outs here in the second, and it's Jariah Lewis to come up. So Jariah Lewis, who led off this game in lieu of what we think is Nin Burns being scratched with an injury, grounded out to second in the first inning. Here he takes strike 1 on the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. Lewis had the grand slam in yesterday's contest that got the Blues the win. It was 1-1 heading into the top of the 6th. The Blues scored 6 runs in the inning, and Lewis's grand slam proved to be the difference. He made it 5-1. The Blues would end up winning by a score of 11-1 in the ballgame. 1-1 on the way as Lewis takes a breaking ball a little off the plate outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hunter Watkins showing a lot of confidence in the fastball. 2-1 as Watkins kicks and deals. And Lewis lines it into the left center field gap. It falls for a base hit. Jariah Lewis with excellent speed rounding first. He's going to try for 2. Cutting it off in the gap is the left fielder Will Rogers. It's another extra base hit for Jariah Lewis. A double with 2 outs here in the second. So Jariah Lewis continues to show off that sweet swing. He's really on a tear right now. And he's got a double here with 2 away in the second inning. It'll be Jacob Ruley coming to the plate. Now runner in scoring position for the Blues, who already lead by 3. Jacob Ruley started the rally in the first inning. He singled, stole second, reached third on a balk, came in to score the first run, and the Blues would continue to add after he had touched home plate. 2 outs, runner at second is Lewis, as Ruley takes a fastball off the plate inside, 1-0. The CSU Bakersfield second baseman, 1 for 1 on the day with a run scored. Also the stolen base, which was his 7th in 7 chances this summer. Watkins looks to second. Now he brings it home. And Ruley takes the fastball. Same spot, same result. 2 balls and no strikes. Here in the second inning, 3-0 Blues lead. Blues looking to win their 3rd straight game for the first time in league play this summer and the last 2 summers. The longest winning streak all summer last year for the Blues was 2 games. And the Blues haven't won 3 in a row in league play yet this year. Ruley takes a 2-0 curveball in there for a strike. So the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. The Blues win yesterday, gave them back-to-back wins for the first time in over 3 weeks when they headed to Orange County for that sweep. And they're trying to keep the momentum rolling. Final game before the showcase game break. Watkins looks to second. A second look as Lewis dances around. Now a 2-1. And Ruley bends out of the way of the breaking ball, and it didn't hit him. It just went right past Galvan. So Jariah Lewis advances to third base on ball 3 to Jacob Ruley. Ruley almost sold that like it hit him, and I think that it was so close to hitting them that Galvan couldn't make the catch. Three and 1 the count. Runner at third, and now Bill Pintard is out to, I think, maybe argue pro hit by pitch here, which is not something you normally hear a coach come out to try and argue in favor of, but it might be better for the Foresters if it was ruled that Ruley was actually hit by that pitch. It would be a dead ball. It would keep Jariah Lewis at second base, but instead it's a 3 and 1 count. Runner at third. Blues trying to strike for another run here in the second inning. Watkins now with Ruley at third. 3-1. That's a little bit low. It's a walk for Jacob Ruley. And now for the Blues, runners at first and third with 2 outs.
And that'll send to the plate the right fielder from Cal State Bakersfield, Matt.
So it's Matt Mastiangelo now, who singled and knocked in a run back in the first inning. Mastiangelo picked up his 4th league run batted in, and now he's got runners at first and third. Another RBI opportunity for the Roadrunner. It's Lewis at third after he doubled and got third base on the pass ball. And after Ruley's walk, he's at first. Blues trying to capitalize on the 2-out rally as Mastiangelo takes a little bit low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Hunter Watkins struck out the first 2 hitters in this inning. Darcy and Price, back-to-back Ks. Then the double by Lewis, the walk by Ruley, and Mastiangelo, who knocked in a run in the first, another chance. Watkins kicks and deals. Mastiangelo cracks it foul off the facing of the Blues dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 with Watkins continuing to toe the rubber here for the Foresters. Second inning, already 3-0 Blues. First and third for San Luis Obispo. Mastiangelo at the plate, trying to continue his tear. Watkins comes home 1-1. Ruley takes off. Mastiangelo takes outside. Galvan throws all the way down, and Ruley's got another stolen base. That's the 8th of the summer for Jacob Ruley, the 2nd of the game, and there's 2 runners in scoring position with a 2-1 count here in the second inning.
Take it to the marketing tank. Get your fast feed seat cushion from Promotional Concepts.
Now Mastiangelo went to right field for his base hit in the first inning to knock in the run. And now he's got a chance to knock in more than just 1. 2 runners in scoring position for the Blues, both with excellent speed. 2 outs in the second. 2-1. Mastiangelo ropes it into right again. It falls in front of Ballou, the right fielder. In to score is Lewis. Ruley gets the wave as well. Galvan tags him out. Another run for the Blues. It's 4-0 as Mastiangelo another RBI, but a nice throw from Ballou to keep it at just the 1 run. We head to the third. It's 4-0 SLO on the SLO Blues streaming network.
Score 1. Extend their lead. It's a 4-0 ball game.
We return to Sinsheimer Stadium, where we have Galvan, Kendro, and Patterson due up for the Santa Barbara Foresters. This is Nate Mills taking over here for Jack Smith, feeling a little under the weather, so I will be your captain for the rest of the evening. Galvan, the catcher, his first time up tonight against Feld, who's just looked fantastic up there on the rubber. First pitch is a fastball, center cut for strike one. Love seeing what the Blues have been doing so far, carrying over the momentum from their series against the Conejo Oaks, really just firing on both ends, pitching and offensively. This is another fastball leaping grab by Jason Hansen for out number one. Gosh, he is just playing a great first base over there, adjusting very well. He takes a few celebratory hops over there. I think that in and out shake might have worn off at this point. He looked very agile jumping up for that ball. So with one out now, we got Kendro, the third baseman, striding up to the plate. And Feld has just been very efficient so far, just getting hitters out on minimal amounts of pitches. And he's just been challenging with the fastball. It's been working. Here's another fastball, misses inside for ball one. One out. Another fastball, outer black for strike one, count even at 1-1. The guy who works quickly on the mound as he is towed on the first base side of the rubber. Here's the 1-1. Slider, and Kendro swings right through it for strike two. Fans are wanting their hot sauce. Kendro's down to his last strike. Feld's already given him 5 bottles of Bon Tom Creole already this evening. Here's the 1-2. This looks like a two-seam fastball. That misses inside. Kendro has to duck out of the way of that one. Feld, the 2-2. Slider, this one's hit out to center field. Jariah Lewis dives for it, gets past the diving attempt. Massiangelo has to recover. Kendro is rounding second. Still haven't gotten the ball into the infield yet, and he will be standing in for a triple. So on the diving attempt by Jariah Lewis, the ball gets to the fence. Massiangelo has to recover, and Kendro is upstanding with a triple. Looks like Feld went back to that slider, kind of missed up in the zone. What we would call a cement mixer. Just kind of spun up there, didn't really break a whole lot. Kendro got a lot of it, and it was a weird placement for Jariah Lewis. It's kind of one of those tweeners where you kind of have to go, am I going to run it on this, make the grab, or am I going to dive? Kind of made a half-hearted dive. It was a tough play. Gets to the wall for a one-out triple. First pitch is another slider taken for a strike to Patterson. Patterson been one of the more deadlier hitters for Santa Barbara this year, certainly against the SLO Blues. You've heard me say this before many times on the stream, but I would call this man a hit collector. Just finds a way as he swings through a fastball. Living in the low 90s is Feld, and he is just challenging hitters in his outing so far. Kendro 90 feet away. Patterson takes a fastball outside for ball one. He falls to 1-2. Feld again on 1-2. Fastball swung right through it, and it's a foul tip. Kendro was taken off from third base. Didn't think Patterson got a hold of it as it frog with a tennis racket out of Jake Bold's glove. He shakes his head over towards the dugout. Patterson gets another life at 1-2. One, two again to Patterson. Slider towering into shallow left field. Everyone converging, and it looks like Cody Darcy is going to come down with it, ready to make the throw over to home, but Kendro makes no move. He will stay at third base for the second out of the inning. So Patterson pops out on the 1-2 slider. Cody Darcy makes the play back on his heels. There's 2 outs now in the inning for Blue. Blue also not a hitter To be reckoned with, formerly the CCL South Hitter of the Week, the Texas native from the University of Texas. Batting .403 this year, 67 at-bats. Fastball is taken outside for ball one. One of the more deadlier hitters you're going to see. And if the Santa Barbara Foresters are going to want to capitalize here with Kendra 90 feet away, this would be the one guy you'd like to have up there. Feld attacks with the fastball. Blue fouls it straight back. It's 1-1. One and one here to Max Ballou, the lefty from Texas. Feld delivers slider. It's a little low. 2-1. Ballou's just one of those guys who's not going to go after that pitch from Feld. He's trying to make him to go fish for it with an even count. Ballou's a smart hitter. That right center gap is looking huge over there for the lefty pole. Feld comes inside, hits a little nubber. Ricken comes in on him, makes the running throw over to Hansen. He is there for the snag and for the third out. So a great play by JT Ricken ends the inning. Kendro gets stranded at third. It's 4-0 San Luis Obispo Blues on the Blues streaming network. We return to Sinsheimer in the bottom of the third inning, and it's JT Ricken, the Oregon Duck, lead things off after making a nice play over there at third base to end the inning. Ricken has a strikeout today, looking to change things around here in his second at bat in the bottom of the third. He takes a fastball high for ball one. Hunter Watkins staying out there. The big, tall right-hander delivers. Another fastball up. This time Ricken goes after it. Evens the count at 1-1. One again from Watkins. This one looks like a slider taken for the outer half for a strike. So now JT Ricken needing to shorten up here with 2 strikes. Certainly need to make it a mental adjustment after going up that fastball up in the zone. 1-2, it's taken for strike 3. It's a fastball in the lower half of the zone, and Ricken is caught looking. Goes down on strikes. Ricken saw it all the way in. He knew it was a strike immediately, began walking back. He just took the fastball center cut for the first out of the inning. Now Jake Bull will get an opportunity here after he doubled in the first inning. Nice swing, too, by Jake Bull. One of the better swings on the team, of course. Leading Princeton in batting average this year as a freshman. makes sense. It translates into summer ball here, as this is a cut fastball taken low in the zone for a strike. Bold adjusting the front shin guard. We've talked about it on the broadcast before. People seem to be fouling it off their feet in the modern game. It's just like the rate of that has gone up exponentially. And even if you have a big old shin guard like Bold does, it always finds a way to make contact with the skin or on the shin somewhere. Here's Watkins on 1-1. It's a curveball taken for a strike. 1-2 to Jake Bold. So now Bold here is going to have to shorten up here with 2 strikes. Maybe wind the stance as well. Here it comes. It's a fastball nubber. And who's going to get it? Looks like Watkins going to scoop it up, go to first, and Jake Bold is out. So on the nubber, on the slider, Watkins just makes the easy play and flips it over to Patterson at first for the second out. It's kind of one of the first innings where the SLO Blues haven't really put up a fight in their at-bats. They've kind of just been 2 easy outs so far. But now Jason Hansen's going to get a crack at it here. He had a single in his last at-bat.
Now for the Blues, number 41, Jason Hansen.
And now he'll get an opportunity here with 2 outs to get a spark going. Here's the fastball taken for a strike. That's Hunter Watkins is going after strike 1. He's a pitcher that likes to do that. SLO Blues hitters have recognized that in the first 2 innings. Already putting up 6 hits in their first 2 innings of work. This fastball is taken for a ball. It counts even at 1-1. But I think that's what's been the difference for the Blues in the past 3 games. Swinging early in counts, attacking the fastball. And so far in the 3rd inning, that has not been the case here. Here's another fastball, outer half for strike 2. So all of a sudden, Jason Hansen is down 1-2 in the count. Blues have scored in their first 2 innings. If Jason Hansen were to go down here, this would be the first inning where they have not scored or reached base. Here's the 1-2. Slider, and Hansen swings right through it for a strikeout and to end the inning. So the Blues come up empty. No hits and no runs, no runners on base. We'll head to the top of the 4th with a SLO Blues lead 4-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Welcome back here to the top of the 4th on the SLO Blues streaming network, where the Blues lead 4-0 against the Santa Barbara Foresters on Jersey night. Fans showing out in jerseys getting $5 off their tickets. Beautiful night here in SLO. Here's a fastball from Feld taken for ball 1. So leading off for the Foresters this inning is Eamon Lance. And Fairfax going to Santa Clara, pops it out to center. Jariah Lewis coming in on it, communicating with Jake Ruley, and it will be Lewis who comes down with it. First out of the innings, a pop out to Jariah Lewis. Justin Feld picking up where he left off, attacking early with the fastballs. And now he'll go after the Arizona State Sun Devil, Will Rogers. Rogers, who had a single to right in his last at-bat, looking for another one here. Feld's first pitch is a fastball. Ooh, that looked close to me, but it was taken for a ball. A little too outside, I guess. I feel like both pitchers have been nibbling it away at that outside corner, but then they'll come in on that fastball. Different looks for hitters. It's tough to adjust to. Here's the 1-0, another fastball taken up in the zone. It's now 2-0 to Will Rogers. It's like it's one of the first hitters where a hitter has been up in the count as Rogers goes after the 2-0 fastball. He fouls it straight back into the netting. Rogers this summer hitting .294 in 68 at-bats. He's got 16 strikeouts. The 4 extra base hits is 4 doubles. Trying to prevent another one here is Feld. He goes after the fastball again, blows it right by Will Rogers, and he's down 2-2. Rogers with some big ol' swings so far in this at-bat. If he's wanting to keep up with that fastball, he's going to have to tone it down a bit. Let the ball do all the work, supply all the power. Here's the 2-2. That two-seam is taken up in the zone. Count is now full. Now Feld's going to come after Rogers with his best pitch he's got. And for me, the fastball isn't working incredibly well. You've blown it past Rogers twice. Why not do it again? He does, and Rogers cranks it, but it's way foul into the parking lot. Towering foul ball. But it's a cricket home run. As I've said before, that's called a 6. Depends what kind of cricket you play, though. That's 50-50 cricket. But we can get it out later. Rogers, though, with another life, 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch from Feld. Fastball inside, and Will Rogers walks. So Rogers reaches base for the second straight at-bat. Has yet to be retired, and now that will bring up the TCU Horned Frog and Anthony Silva. Will Rogers stolen 6 bases so far this year. Has only been caught 1 time. So a stolen base threat over there at first. Being held on by Jason Hansen. Anthony Silva, the Studley freshman, coming out of Texas Christian, torches one to left field. Running back is Blanchette. He makes the running snag right at the warning track, and Rogers will go back to first base. And Silva really got a hold of that ball out to left field. Blanchette doing a good job fighting against the sun. I know it's a difficult left field to play out there. I actually had the opportunity to shag some balls during batting practice, and as a former outfielder, I can say it is difficult to play some left field out here at Sinsheimer. Now, granted, haven't fielded a fly ball in 7 months, so that can certainly play into it too. Pick off the Feld. Rogers gets back safely. But it's a tough play out there. You got the wind, you got crosswinds happening here at Sinsheimer as it's sunken into a hill. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get winds crossing all sorts of directions. Another attempt by Feld. Rogers back safely again. Blanchette does a good job fielding the ball, squeezing it for out number 2. So now it's Flores. A Texas shortstop gets a crack at it. He swings through a fastball. It's now 0-1. After the first 2 pickoff attempts by Feld, he comes in with the fastball. Jalen Flores, one of my favorite swings we've seen so far in CCL South play, and he goes after the slider, and he's down 0-2. Just a great swing coming out of the right-hander batter's box. I feel like when you take a look at his swing, you go, that guy's got a pretty swing. It always seems to be from the left side. It just always happens that way, but I say that with the right-handed hitter here. Here's Feld 0-2, and he kind of lofts ones out to center field. Lewis is there, takes 2 steps in, squeezes it, and makes the grab. So another easy inning for Justin Feld, and the SLO Blues will get back to work in the bottom of the 4th. It's still 4-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher for the Santa Barbara Foresters is Zach Ehrman, the Texan. How many times have you heard that? The Texan out of Texas Tech has pitched 7 innings so far this summer, has not allowed a run yet, 6 strikeouts and 5 walks. In his freshman year at Texas Tech, he had a 3.21 ERA, had 14 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, 6 walks. So Gio Blanchette will be the first hitter for the Blues to get a crack at him in that fastball. Out of the zone, Gio goes after it for the first strike. Living in the upper 80s is Zach Ehrman. And he'll pitch to Gio Blanchette. Made that play out there in left field last inning. Takes another fastball that's low. Counts now even at 1-1. The left-handed Red Raider standing in there at 6'2", 180 pounds. Rising sophomore. Goes to fellow rising sophomore Giovanni Blanchette, and he'll spoil that one foul down the line. So now Blanchette's down on 1-2. His first off speed we saw, Blanchette was out in front of it. Almost hit third base coach Rene Regaldo down there. But now Gio will dig back into the craters that are in the right-handed batter's box. Here's Ehrman, fastball blown by Blanchette for a strikeout. So Blanchette goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. And it looks like Ehrman just went right back to that fastball. Gave him the changeup, saw Blanchette was out in front of it, and just blew him away on the heater. I don't think Giovanni was expecting that one. But Cody Darcy will now get a crack at it. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. Looking to flip the script around here. Blues, it's nice to be out on front 4-0, especially against this team, as a fastball gets past Darcy for 0-1. Like to add more runs, though. Can't be content. That's kind of the mindset that they had in Conejo, what sort of brought them success in that series. This looks like a changeup that drops out of the zone, falls off the table, and Darcy swings right through it. He falls to 0-2. That's the debut of the changeup. Looking like one of his better pitches today. I have a feeling we're going to get a fastball changeup combination here. There's another changeup, and Darcy swings right through it for strike 3. Ehrman getting a groove on his breaking stuff, and he brings down Cody Darcy on strikes. Looks like he was exchanging some words with Darius Price, probably giving the scouting report that the Red Raider has found his feel on the breaking stuff after being very fastball heavy against Blanchette. But Darius Price, who also struck out swinging in his last at-bat, gets a crack at it here. Ehrman delivers, and Price is out in front of that one. Foul, just in front of the Santa Barbara Foresters dugout. DP's got some pop. Already has a home run so far this year. Deadly hitter up there, takes fastball way out in the zone, counts now even at 1-1. Here's the 1-1, another fastball. Price swings right through it. It's now 1-2. So it looks like Ehrman's going out of the zone with that fastball, getting the hitters to go after it, but he's mixing well. He's already quickly got 2 outs in this inning off of 2 swinging strikeouts from the Blues. And after the Blues put up 4 runs in just 2 innings. There's a slider, and Price swings right through it for strike 3. So Ehrman goes 1-2-3, strikes out the side. Impressive look coming out of the bullpen for the Foresters. SLO Blues still up, though, 4-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher for the SLO Blues now of their own. It's Marcelo Saldana. It's the left-hander coming out of Cal State Bakersfield. He will relieve Justin Feld, who had a great day of his own. He had 5 strikeouts, just letting 2 hits and no runs. Good showing out of the future Gonzaga Bulldog, but now coming in is Marcelo Saldana. He had 10 strikeouts and 5.2 league innings so far. He's got a 1.59 ERA. Mostly been coming out of the bullpen this year, but ever since entering league play, or mostly been a starter, but ever since entering league play has been coming out of the bullpen. Talk with Saldana in between games. I guess he and his coaches at Cal State Bakersfield wanting to cement his role as a relief pitcher with the Roadrunners. So now we can see him here getting some reps with the SLO Blues. Left-hander coming out of the pen, and Jack and I have talked about this on the broadcast before. He's not afraid to go after you with that fastball. He's got a great slider as well, but just a guy full of confidence, full of energy up there on the hill. And he'll go after Rocco Garza Gongora for strike 1. A fastball low and in. And right on cue right there. He just goes in on the left-hander out of Oklahoma as the shadows begin to fall over Sinsheimer. Saldana completely emerged in the darkness. Garza Gongora fouls it straight back into the parking lot. Oh, it gets knocked down by the tree. So now 0-2 is Garza Gongora. And Saldana quickly coming set back on the mound, wasting no time. Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Saldana rocking the tight high waters today with the stirrups. Got to say, I'm a fan of that look. I didn't like it at first, but certainly has grown on me. A little retro action. 1-2 fastball is a little too low. Counts now even at 2s. Just one of those things, you know, where you see a trend that used to be popular way back in the day, wasn't cool, and then now it has come back officially. Fastball, Garza Gongora spoils it directly back into the seats. He stays alive at 2-2. We saw Saldana going after the hitters in Santa Barbara last time we were down there at Pershing Park, and then again at the Caneo Oaks. Really good stuff coming out of the left-hander in the bullpen, and this one's fisted out to center field. Jariah Lewis takes a few steps in, and he makes the snag for the first out of the inning. So the fly ball by Rocco Garza Gongora will be the first out of the inning, and now that'll bring on an opportunity for Galvan.
Standing in for Santa Barbara, number 4, Rylan Galvan.
Riley Galvan, another Texas kid, another Longhorn as well. Hitting 115 so far on the year, just in 26 at-bats. And Saldana at the belt, comes home, fastball, taken for a ball. Awfully close there in that call. Going for that outer part of the zone. Bold was set up there. Looked like he hit his spot. But Saldana comes home once again. Fastball. This time he blows it right by Galvan. Count even now at 1. 1-1. Galvan 11 strikeouts on the year with just 4 walks. Saldana goes again. Looks like a changeup this time. 2 balls and 1 strike. We've seen Saldana mixing mostly with the fastball so far in his outing. Usually it takes him a while to showcase his secondary. This looks like a sinker, and it's taken for a ball. It's 3-1. Sinker taken upstairs. It's not where you want to miss it. Usually with the sinker, obviously it's in the name, it goes down, but it also tails away from the right-handed hitter if you're lefty. So you want to start it middle, end it down. He goes with the sinker again. It's out of the zone again. And Galvan will get first base on the walk. So Rylan Galvan walks. Marcelo Saldana gives up his first base of the outing, and that will give the opportunity now to Jake Kendrow from North Huntington, Pennsylvania, the kid from Tennessee. Went to the same high school as Rylan Galvan, the former teammates. He'll get a crack here as now Saldana deals with a base runner for the first time tonight. Fastball misses again upstairs, 1-0. Hansen holding on at first. Saldana comes home, misses downstairs. Ooh, comes in for a strike with the fastball. Evens the count at 1-1. Thought that missed a little low. Looks like Bold almost had to trap it looked like, on the pitch, but called it a strike. Now 1-1. Saldana comes set. Takes a look over at first, delivers. Fastball, misses inside. Now 2-1 to Kendro. A lot of good hitters coming out of the Santa Barbara Foresters roster this season. A little bit surprising at their offensive production. You'd think it'd be a lot more explosive than it is, but it's actually their pitching that has been carrying them away so far. As Saldana misses upstairs again, it's now 3-1. So for the second at bat in the row, Saldana falls now in a hitter's count. He's going to have to come in to Kendro. Middle infielder standing in the middle of the box. Directly in the middle. Saldana comes at him with the fastball. He swings right through it. Kendro got a little too big on that hack. He wanted to absolutely hammer that one, but it looks like he just abandoned the mechanics and just wanted to go after that one as hard as he could. But now 3-2, and here comes Saldana's best stuff. Fastball outside corner for strike 3. Kendro goes down looking, and a huge strikeout for Marcelo Saldana. So after falling 3-1, he gets Kendro to swing and take a look at that fastball. Nice strikeout for the Roadrunner. Now that will give Daniel Patterson the opportunity here with a runner on first base. He popped out to Cody Darcy his last at-bat, and here's a little tapper to Ricken. He gets on the pick and flings it into right field. And it looks like Patterson will end up at second base, and Galvan will end up at third. JT Ricken was coming in on that ball, picked it, fell down, tried to make the throw from his seat, and lofted it down the line over Jason Hansen's head. Gave up a few free bases. Now there's runners in scoring position for Max Ballou, one of the more dangerous hitters on the Santa Barbara Foresters roster. 2 outs, though, for the SLO Blues. Saldana's just 1 out away from getting out of this one. And you just love to see a strikeout here. I think that would just get everyone fired up. But now the left-hander is going to have a conversation with his catcher from Princeton. Just a little mental reset there. Nothing you can do. I'm sure JT Ricken apologizing over there to Saldana. That's a tough play. So got an opportunity here with the left-hander out of Texas. Saldana's first pitch is a fastball, strike on the outer half. Usually you see him coming into both left-handed and right-handed hitters, but so far tonight he's been nibbling away at that outside corner, occasionally getting the call. He got it that time. Again with the fastball. This one hits off the mound and into Jake Rulli's glove. He'll flip it over to Hansen for the third out of the inning. So Marcelo Saldana escapes the jam after the errant throw into right field, and the SLO Blues hold on 4-0. We head into the top of the 5th on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top of the order here for the SLO Blues. It's the center fielder, Jeriah Lewis, the second baseman, Jacob Rulli, and the right fielder, Matt Massiangelo, to hit in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jeriah Lewis with a double in the 2nd inning after grounding out to second. He eventually scored on the Matt Massiangelo single. And he will face Erdman for the first time this evening, the left-on-left matchup. Zach Erdman from the lineup. It's a slider taken for strike 1. Jeriah Lewis, we talked about the left-handed swings earlier in the broadcast. He's one of those guys. Beautiful swing coming out of the left-hander's batter's box. As that fastball is taken for strike 2. All of a sudden down 0-2 is Jeriah Lewis. Last inning, Erdman struck out the side on 3 strikeouts swinging. That tally's starting to rack up for the Blues today as that fastball is taken just outside for ball 1. Already 8 strikeouts so far for the Blues in 4 innings. Like to change that around here, get some more insurance run as Lewis taps it right in front of the plate but goes foul. He stays alive at 1-2. SLO Blues been doing their thing on the mound, throwing up goose eggs after singling, and he takes fastballs for strike 1. I'd like to apologize here. I'm a little behind on the score here on the screen. Still getting used to this. Another fastball in the dirt for ball 1. Jake really got to be ready for when Erdman comes back in the zone. 1-1 taken for a strike. That one had some tail to it. Maybe a little sinker action coming out of the left-hander, and now Rulli is down 1-2. Really just wanted to battle here. There's 0-2 taken for a ball. 1-2 to Jake Rulli. Rulli closing out the inning. Back in the 5th, making the play over to Jason Hansen after the ball kicked off the mound, and he will go the other way, finds the hole in between second and first for a base hit. Jake Rulli so far 2 hits on the day, also a walk. He's gone on base in every at-bat today, and he's starting to see it well. Doing a good job, 1-2 hitting, staying alive, shortening up, going the opposite way. As a coach, that's just your favorite sight to see. That's just everything you teach your guys coming into fruition. And Jake Rulli doesn't try to do too much, and he's aboard with a base hit. And now he'll pass it over to his fellow Roadrunner, also a hot hitter this evening, and Matt Massiangelo. He's got 2 hits of his own this evening. So now another left-on-left matchup. Right fielder stands in with Rulli over at first base. He takes the fastball for a strike. Also something different we're seeing today as opposed to, or even within this game, hitters taking early on in counts. They can't forget the success that they had attacking that fastball for the first pitch. They want to add on some more insurance run. They're going to have to stick to that plan. Massiangelo takes a hack at the slider and fouls it straight back out of play. So now he's at 1-2, or 0-2. So Massiangelo's been seen 2 sliders in this at-bat. Now with 0-2, you have to wonder if he's going to go ahead and change it up with the fastball. Being ready for everything, the left-hander. Shadows starting to engulf Sinsheimer Stadium as Erdman comes home on the fastball. He checks his swing, snap throw over to first, and Rulli's back safely. Massiangelo doing a good job holding up in that swing on that fastball up in the zone. Galvan checking over at Jake Rulli at first base. There's no play there. Now it's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Hits Massiangelo right on the shoulder, just above the elbow guard. And like what I was talking about earlier, you can wear all the pads, but for some reason, the ball just always finds a way to hit you right on the skin or on the bone somewhere. And it does on Massiangelo. He wears it well, though. He's awarded first base. And now for JT Ricken, the Oregon Duck, there's runners on first and second with one out. So JT Ricken wanting to come through here for his SLO Blues. He's already struck out twice today. Wanted to flip the script for him. He's got 3 league RBIs on the year. And Rulli and Massiangelo take off to their respective bases, and they're both safe. Sliding headfirst into third base is Jake Rulli, and the tag is not in time by Kendro, and the double steal is successful. It's a good thing you got some wheels out there on the base paths. It makes it easier to score. Puts you in a good spot to score. JT Ricken now with the infield in, just got to plop it in there into the outfield, but now you see the outfield also shading in as well. You get a pop fly, you want to make the easy throw towards home. So if you're playing back, Rulli's going to score anyway, so you might as well come in and be ready for that shallow pop out. Hold the runners at their bases. But here's Ricken 1-0 with one out. And he smacks it through the glove of Kendro. Rulli will score, and it's a base hit for JT Ricken. He comes through with one out and hits a solid base hit into left field. Matt Massiangelo gets to third base. Runners now at the corner, and the Blues add on 5-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. So a nice put together at bat by JT Ricken. He brings home another run for the SLO Blues, some insurance. And like I said, never want to be content with any lead that you have. As time is called at home. Forsters putting on the first and third sign. You got some pretty great speed over there at first base. You want to keep your eye out there on the Oregon Duck, who's on the pond. So Jake Bold, he doubled in his first at-bat. Wanted to do it again here. The Princeton Tiger takes a look at Erdman. Erdman comes home and he smacks one into shallow center field. Won't be a play for Garza Gongora, and that's another run for the SLO Blues. Here we go, attacking the first pitch. Jake Bold on the fastball serves one into center field for a base hit that brings home another Blues run. And you kind of sense the Blues were starting to lull themselves into sleep. And you've heard me talk about it a bajillion times on the broadcast. The pendulum. The pendulum was swinging their way, and you got to make sure it stays on your side. And the Blues are doing exactly what you need to do to keep that. And hopefully Jake Bold can pass the baton over here to the UC Davis Aggie in Jason Hansen. Hansen with a base hit and a strikeout today. Had a great performance in Conejo and might have found himself a brand new home at first base. Been a plus defender over there, listed as a utility guy. He's played all over. I mean, we've seen him at third, we've seen him at second, in the corner outfield. We've seen him at first too, but really took advantage of his opportunity in Conejo. And now with runners on first and second, he gets a shot. And he goes ahead after that slider, foul tip straight back. He's now 0-1. Not sure what was said on the bus, on the group chat, or in the locker room, but Blues hitting has just come alive in the past 3 games. Coming at the right time, too. Heading down the end of the season looking for a playoff push. Erdman long hold. Taking a look at Ricken at second. He finally comes home. It's a fastball little outside. Counts now at 1-1. Still one out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. If you're Erdman, you want to get a ground ball here, you can flip it over to second for a double play. But the task ahead right now, Jason Hansen in a 1-1 count. Erdman comes home again. This one's in the dirt. Galvin keeps it in front. Everyone stays at their stations. Hansen now up 2-1 against the Texas Tech Red Raider. A lot of Big 12 SEC talent coming out of Santa Barbara. There's a clear pipeline or connection there. But now we got a Big West hitter in Jason Hansen up there. With runners on first and second, 1 out. Here's the 2-1 from Erdman. This one's popped out to right field. Ballou converging. He'll make the grab. Ricken tags from second base, and he will be in at third, sliding safely. Not even really a play. It was a good throw by Ballou. Goes right over the cutoff man in Silva. Hits the head of Kendro, but it's not enough against the speed of JT Ricken. So productive out for Jason Hansen that there's now runners at the corners with 2 outs. And Giovanni Blanchette with some more insurance 90 feet away. He struck out in his last at-bat. It was the first hitter that Erdman faced. He was a part of that 1-2-3 inning with the 3 strikeouts. Ever since Lewis struck out at the top of this inning, or at the bottom of the 5th here, it's been a single, walk, single, single. Makes scoring runs a lot easier when you're putting the ball in play like that. First pitch to Blanchette. Inside, missing for ball 1. Do you guys believe me yet? Jack and I have been talking about it all year. It makes it so much easier to manufacture runs when you're getting base hits. You're getting base runners. The Blues are personifying that tonight with a 6-0 lead. 1-0 to Blanchette's taken outside for a ball. Blanchette now 2-0. Blanchette named to the CCL 30 showcase game. He'll head down to Compton where the Academy Barons play and represent the SLO Blues. So congratulations to Gio. And here's the 2-0 fastball spoiled directly into the back netting. Now at 2-1. Giovanni Blanchette, transfer portal player coming out of St. Mary's up there in NorCal, Division I program. Looking to find a new home, a good opportunity down in Los Angeles. But for now, he's 2-1 with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Here's the pitch, swings right through the changeup. Blanchette falls to 2-2. Both the hitter and the pitcher swallowed up in shadows. I think now the most difficult part is the fielders, especially on the left side of second base. Shadows coming in and out of their vision. Here's the 2-2. Runners take off, and Giovanni Blanchette spoils that one back into the Foresters' dugout. Jake Bold was taken off for second on that one. I made the mistake when it was one of the first games he came to SLO. Said he had catcher's speed, and he took that personally. Ever since then, he's had a lot of stolen base attempts. Always talks to me in pregame about how I dogged him. Don't think I did. And that's taken for a ball. Now 3-2 to Blanchette. Bold's got 2 league stolen bases on the year. He's been caught once. So for a catcher, I say it's pretty good. All jokes aside, plus runner over there at first base and Jake Bold. He goes off again, and Giovanni Blanchette takes the walk. Fastball low in the zone, and now the bases are loaded for Cody Darcy. Good at bat out of Giovanni Blanchette, falling down in the count, taking pitches he didn't like, that were balls, spoiling away strikes that he didn't love. And that's been something that Gio's had to overcome a bit this year in bigger situations with runners in scoring position, kind of struggling to put the ball in play. Doesn't put it in play, but he does get first base. That does pass the baton. An improvement there from the right-handed hitter. As Bill Pintard will come out towards the mound, talk to his left-hander, Erdman. Just wanted to get a little reset here. After being so dominant when he first appeared in this game in the 4th inning, he's loaded the bases, and it looks like he will now come out of this game after retiring 4 in a row via the strikeout. He gives up 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So we're going to take a break now. A new pitcher for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Don't go anywhere. We'll return back on the SLO Blues streaming network. Welcome back here to Sinsheimer Stadium. We're in the midst of a 2-out rally for the SLO Blues, and we also have a new arm on the hill for the Santa Barbara Foresters. It's Jacob Hughes. It's the Oregon Duck. He's got 3 innings of work so far this summer. A little bit of a newer guy. He's got a 3 ERA, 4 strikeouts, also 4 walks. It's a junior out of the University of Oregon looking to shut it down here for the Sturs. And bases loaded, and Cody Darcy getting an opportunity to make it hurt more here. He's got a fresh arm out the pen. And Darcy, 2 strikeouts today. The 0-0 taken upstairs for a fastball. Now 1-0. Bases loaded for the SLO Blues. 1-0 to Darcy. There's 2 outs. Already put up 2 in this inning. Here's the 1-0. Taken in the dirt for ball 2. So Cody Darcy now in a hitter's count. Jacob Hughes trying to find the zone. Watching his warm-up pitches, he was struggling to do that, preparing for his outing. Looked like he had the stuff. Just can't locate it, and we're seeing that here against the shortstop from Arkansas State. Hughes comes set. Long hold up there. 2-0. Taken for a ball. Snap throw over to first. No one was ready. Patterson had to recover and scoop on the ground, but everyone stays at their base. And Darcy is now 3-0. Galvan really testing that snap throw today. I don't think Daniel Patterson was aware he was going to go to it, but he made the nice recovery. Now Darcy, I would assume, taking all the way here on a 3-0 count. Here's Hughes on the 3-0. Fastball taken in there for a strike. Darcy looking to do some damage here with the bases loaded. Really wanted to put this game away. Darcy on the 3-1. Takes for ball 4, and Hughes comes out of the pen and walks in a run. The Blues add on the free 90 to Cody Darcy. Now 7-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and slowly this one's starting to slip away for Santa Barbara. Not the ideal production you're wanting out of the pen for Bill Pintard. But now it's Darius Price going up to bat today. He had 2 strikeouts today so far, both swinging. Price, no 1 RBI on the year, and he takes first pitch for a strike. The Blues not abandoning their approach that they've been going after all year. I feel like most of their runs have come via the free 90s, whether it be a balk or a ball in the dirt or a walk. They don't abandon that here. They tack on another one on the walk, and it looks like Galvan calls time. DP facing the new right-hander out of the pen. Looking to redeem himself after the 2 strikeouts. Outfielder shaded towards the pull side except for right. And the slider I thought was missed out of the hand, lands in there for a strike. Came a little high off the hand of Hughes. I think he thought he was going to go in there for a ball, but it broke a little more than we thought. It plopped in there for strike 2. So now DP's got a battle. Standing in the dead middle of the box. Choked up slightly on the bat, about half an inch. Hughes comes home, and he swings right through the fastball. So Hughes lets up 1 run after coming out of the pen on a walk, but he strikes out Darius Price to end the inning. We'll head to the top of the 6th inning. The Blues add on. It's 7-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Just finishing up the infamous tennis ball toss here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Marcelo Saldana staying out there. He's got a 7-0 lead for the SLO Blues. Taking a look around the ballpark tonight on Jersey night. Saw Mike Krukow jersey, Cal Poly alumni, shout out Mustangs. Seen a lot of Giants jerseys. A lot of Brandon Belts, former Giant, Brandon Crawford. Just a few Dodgers. I see a Corey Seager Dodger. Sounds a little old. Now a Ranger in the All-Star game. And so now for Marcelo Saldana, he'll face 3, 4, 5 in the Foresters lineup. So we have to go Eamon Lance, Will Rogers, and Anthony Silva. The heart of the order. Would love to see him hold down Santa Barbara after the Blues added on with 3 runs in the 5th inning. Saldana, the first pitch is a fastball taken for a strike on Lance. It's good to see Saldana getting some rest there. It was a longer inning, and in the 5th where he was sort of losing control a bit there, not really pitching like himself, as a changeup is swung right through on Lance. He's down 0-2. He's able to get some rest now, able to hit reset, able to relax, wear the hoodie around the left arm. Coming back out there, he's looking good so far. Just saw a fastball and a changeup, and here he comes 0-2. What's he going to do? Looks like it's a slider. Darcy moving to his left, throw to first in time. On 3 pitches, Marcelo Saldana retires Eamon Lance for the first out of the inning. So just a quick out at bat for Marcelo Saldana, talking about working in the 2-seam a bit more, looking over at Jake Bold, making the motion from the left-handed side, tailing away. And that's a pitch for Will Rogers that we've seen so far this year. With the right-handers, it's the slider. For the left-handers, it's the 2-seam that tails away. He fishes that out of the zone, and he gets his 2-seamer there and bounces it right in front of himself on the plate. He's now down 0-1. But it's that movement that tails away from the right-hander's bat. Out of the zone, he seems to go after it. Had better discipline in Game 2 against the Foresters down in Pershing Park just a few days ago. But this one's torqued out over to left field. Giovanni Blanchette's just going to watch it fly over the netting out in left field. Will Rogers out of Arizona State just sent this one back into the sun. Santa Barbara Foresters respond 7-1 here in the 6th. And yeah, Marcelo Saldana just came after him with that slider. Just really had no action on it. Just hung up there out of the left-handed side. And Will Rogers just capitalizes on it. So after the big blast by Will Rogers, it's Anthony Silva who gets a crack at it. And Saldana sails one into the backstop. It's 1-0. Need to take a deep breath here for Saldana. But man, what a shot by Will Rogers. Comes in again, fastball right down the middle of the plate. Count even at 1-1. Doesn't hurt you that much. That's why your offense does what it does. Pitching now with a 6-run lead. Feel a little more comfortable about giving up that bomb. Here's Saldana again. Fastball taken away, now 2-1. Saldana again, 2-1, swinging right through the changeup is Silva. He's now down 2-2. Just got some numbers on that home run to the left. 100 miles an hour. That's cooked. So now 2-2. Saldana, strikeout would be huge here. Here's a fastball popped out of play, foul ball. Anthony Silva stays alive. Anthony Silva staying alive here. Saldana waiting for him anxiously on the mound, wanting to fire off his pitch as soon as possible. Here's the opportunity, and he hits him. A free 90 for Anthony Silva. He'll take the jog over to first base, favoring the right leg as it went off the left quad of the right-handed hitter. So now another base runner aboard here for the Foresters, and Jalen Flores, the Texas shortstop, with a chance here to maybe turn his season around a little bit. Flores batting .231. 26 at-bats, got 8 strikeouts. 2 runs batted in league play. Fastball taken upstairs, 1-0. Got some action in the bullpen here. Looks like Kyle Dunning, the right-hander, getting loose for the Blues. As Saldana delivers another fastball upstairs, 2-0. Saldana after a restful 5th inning. Comes back and gets the first down, the ground out, but then gives up a moonshot of a home run as he straightens out the fastball for strike 1, now 2-1. Saldana just wanted to change this inning around. He's not a weak guy mentally. A lot of confidence, a lot of swagger. A lot of faith up there in the left-hander. Comes in again, towering pop out into right center field. Jariah Lewis makes the call and comes down with the squeeze for the second out. So good answer by Marcelo Saldana. Records the second out of the inning. It's Flores just getting under that one. Carried way more than I thought it was going to. That was a little too high to go as far as it did. Say about 5 to 10 yards in front of the warning track. But now it's Rocco Garza-Gongora. He flew out to center field in his last at-bat. Saldana takes a look over at first as the fake pick. Garza-Gongora still waiting for the first pitch. Taking off, and a ground ball over to Jacob Rulli. Played very well, having to go across his body. Scoop is not in time by Jason Hansen. And Silva reaches third. He took off to steal. Ball was put in play, and Jacob Rulli had to make a throw across his body. It was not in time, but now runners at the corners here for Galvan.
Here's number 4, Rylan Galvin.
So Rylan Galvin a line out to third in his first at-bat, then walked in his second at-bat. He hits a number foul. He's down 0-1. Runners at the corners here for the Santa Barbara Foresters. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. In the top of the 6th inning, excuse me. Trailing by 6 runs is Santa Barbara as Saldana comes in with the fastball, barely misses upstairs. Counts at 1-1 now. Saldana delivers. Fastball again misses outside, 2-1. Kyle Dunning still going in the Blues bullpen, as Saldana is still searching to pound the zone like he was earlier. At the belt, here's Marcelo. Comes home, swinging right through it is Rylan Galvan, and now count is now even at 2-2. So runners at the corners, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Saldana with a chance to get out of this jam. Fastball goes way awry, but a good stop by Jake Bold prevents a run from scoring, and now the count's full at 3-2. Jake with some athleticism, putting everything out on the line to snag that ball, and he barely does. Great job by the Tiger backstop. But here's Saldana again, coming home, swinging right through it is Rylan Galvan for strike 3. So Marcelo Saldana just lets up the 1 run on the home run by Will Rogers. Santa Barbara Foresters respond. It's now 7-1 as we head on into the bottom of the 6th on the SLO Blues streaming network. got a new pitcher here for the Santa Barbara Foresters, and he's nameless, not listed on the roster. Still trying to figure out who this right-hander is with that tan glove standing in the middle of the rubber for the Foresters. But it'll be top of the order for SLO. And Jariah Lewis, who struck out looking in his last at-bat, and he swings right through the fastball for strike one. Lewis with a double and also a ground out to second in his last at-bat. Second pitch of the at-bat is a breaking ball missed upstairs. It's now 1-1. So looking at the roster sheet here, looking at my notes, this pitcher does not exist as far as we know. At least he's wearing a new jersey. Another breaking ball. This one lands in there for a strike. It's now 1-2 to Lewis. So Lewis now needing to battle here, trying not to repeat history back in the 5th inning where he struck out. The 1-2. This is downstairs in the dirt. Lewis can take that easily for ball 2. Count even at 2s. Jariah Lewis, the leadoff hitter for the SLO Blues, kind of taking over in that center field position after Nin Burns crashed into the wall at Conejo, making an incredible catch over and right. Was initially listed on today's lineup, but was scratched last minute. Had to make some readjustments. So if you saw the lineup posted on social media, you saw it posted anywhere, that is not correct. Right at game time, Dean Trainer switching up the lineup. And Lewis tapping that breaking ball back into the screen now, staying alive at 2-2. It was initially Nin Burns leading off. Lewis was initially hitting third, and Massiangelo 7th. So now it's Blanchette 7th, Massiangelo 3rd, and Lewis obviously now batting leadoff. The Grand Slam kid from yesterday, sitting at 2-2, and he half swings at the slider up in the zone. Is he going to beat this out? No, he won't. And he does a half check swing on a ball up the middle. Flores comes and makes the play on it, and Jariah Lewis is the first out of the inning. Hits it, it's a double. That full swing, I guess you could say he did hit it. Full swing, it's a double. Jariah Lewis on the check swing grounds out to Flores, so now it's Jacob Ruley, who has gotten on base 3 for 3 today. He's got 2 hits, stolen base. It's another breaking ball missing upstairs. Jacob Ruley, that's for ball 1. Jacob Ruley on a 1-0, takes a fastball outside, now at 2-0. Want to get a pitch he likes here. Got a short, easy swing. He can supply the power. He hits some balls pretty hard in batting practice, as we have seen, as this breaking ball floats in there for a strike. Not a bad take, 2-0. It's not a pitch that you absolutely love. That's not one you know you can go, oh, I can hammer this just like Will Rogers did. Just a spinner taken. Here's another spinner just over the head of Ruley. Count now at 3-1. So once again, he's in another count where he wants to get the pitch he loves. If a curveball just plops in there for a strike, so be it. You got some balls to work with here as this one spiked in the dirt. Ruley with some tempo going over the first base, looking to round, and will stay at first as Galvan retrieves the ball just in time. So Jacob Ruley is awarded a walk. So he goes single walk, single walk. That OBP is through the roof. So now it's Matt Massiangelo, who has also reached base perfectly today. Roadrunners just love getting on base.
For the Blues, number 38, Matt Massiangelo.
Massiangelo has scored twice in this game, just like Ruley. Now he gets a shot here to help out his team, help out his fellow Roadrunner. Interesting positioning here in the outfield. Garza Gongora playing a little shallow while the corners and Rogers and Ballou are back a little bit. This one spiked in the dirt, really takes off towards second. And time is called at home. And it looks like it hit Massiangelo on the top of the foot. So now he will get a free 90 himself. So a hit by pitch to Massiangelo. Runners now at first and second. And JT Ricken, who brought home the 2, will now come up to bat. Ricken, to refresh your memory back in the 5th inning, that single that got past the diving attempt by Kendro, the Tennessee third baseman, leaked into left field and scored Rulli and Massiangelo. So here's the Oregon Duck again, now with runners on first and second. First pitch breaker is swung right through. That one looking a little more sharp. Took a while for the pitcher, who, as far as I know, is nameless. Took him a while to figure out that breaking ball. Looking like that curveball. A lot of 12-6 action, up and down, vertical movement. But here's 0-1 to Ricken. This one's taken in the dirt, even at 1-1. Runners on first and second. 1 out on a 1-1 count to JT Ricken. The Oregon Duck hitting .222 on the year. He's got 3 RBIs and 27 at-bats. No doubles. He's got a triple, though. And a pick off the first, and Rulli's in there safely. Rulli's been getting in the mind of pitchers today. Picked off him a total of 5 times while he's been on the base paths, both that first and second. That's combined. But now back to JT Ricken, who's in a 1-1 count. He's got a runner in scoring position here. He comes home. This one's another spiked fastball, and Ricken takes that in the dirt for 2-1. So now another hitter's count. Middle infield pinched towards second base. That 5.5 hole is looking good once again. Flores creeping towards the bag. Pitcher looks back, now comes home. Both runners take off. The throw down to third, and Rulli is safe. Slides just under the tag of Kendro. And another successful double steal by the Blues puts runners at second and third once again for JT Ricken. It's deja vu all over again. So Rulli and Massiangelo both get a stolen base on the double steal. And the good slide by Rulli, where he evades the tag of Kendro. Maybe a little too high on the arm. The hand gets in there safely. Now it's up to Ricken to capitalize. The pitch taken in the dirt once again. Ricken now in a full count. So a full count to JT Ricken. There's 1 out. Infield now in. Outfield shading in as well. And once again, I'll say this again, just need to put a ball in the air. Find a gap somewhere. Strikeout would not be ideal. Here's Ricken on the 3-2. Breaking ball, taking for a ball, and he is awarded the open first base. Loaded now for Jake Bold. Jake Bold, 2 hits on the day, a double and a single, and Bill Pintard going to come out and talk to his pitcher. So after allowing the ground out to second base and getting the first out of the inning, the pitcher goes walk, then a hit by pitch, and then another walk. Having trouble finding the zone, and keeps going back to that curveball, which just keeps spinning out of the hands, never really landing in the zone that often. And the nameless man will come out of this game. We're going to have a pitching change here for the Santa Barbara Foresters. And it looks like it's going to be Zach Coletti. Zach Coletti coming in for the Foresters. We're going to go to break while he gets his warm-up pitches in. Stay tuned on the SLO Blues streaming network. So the new pitcher coming in for Santa Barbara, it's Zach Coletti. He's appeared in 3 games and in 4 innings pitched. Got a 4.5 ERA. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. In league play, 6 hits. So the Blues facing a hittable pitcher as Jake Bold pops it up out of play. Right on top of the press box. Hits the roof, and Bold definitely wanted to come through again here for his squad. I feel like if he can collect an extra base hit or something, I feel like that'd be the dagger for Santa Barbara. The Blues with some high morale heading into this one, and they've been able to maintain it in this contest against their southern rivals. As Jake is now 0-1, and he takes a fastball that almost hit him. He ducks out of the way. He takes it for ball 1. So Coletti now comes set with that closed stance. Third base side of the rubber. Now comes home. Fastball. Bold swings right through it. Now for strike 2. Needing to shorten up here. Coletti once again another Texas coming out of Southlake. Sophomore at Cisco College. Wanting to get his Foresters out of the jam. And Jake Bold stands in his way. Down 1-2, and Bold will call time. That's your box, kid. As a hitter, I loved disrupting the pitcher's timing. Just calling timeout at weird times, taking forever to get back in the box. Seems like Jake Bold is one of those guys as well. Masiangelo taking a big lead over there, and he takes strike 3. Bold goes down looking on the fastball that clips the outer corner, and Coletti comes out of the pen and gets 1 out. Now he'll have to face Jason Hansen. Jake Bold goes down on strikes. Take a look at that fastball that was well spotted up by Coletti. Jason Hansen, who flew out to right field in his last at-bat, wants to bring across at least 1 for the Blues here. Hansen had a base hit to begin his night, then struck out before the flyout. Coletti comes home, skies it out to right field. Converging is Ballou. He calls off Flores, and he'll make the grab. So the Santa Barbara Foresters escape the jam, bases loaded with 1 out after they bring in Coletti. The score is still 7-1 as we head into the top of the 7th on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher for the SLO Blues, and it is in fact Kyle Dunning coming out of Cal State Bakersfield. Appeared in 3 innings so far this season, hasn't given up a run yet, got 5 strikeouts. The stuff is there. He's a fastball slider guy who will also come at hitters. He's been around starting at Michigan State, then ending up at Tacoma Community College, now here at Cal State Bakersfield, and now most recently with the SLO Blues. So this one's popped up, first pitch. Jake Bolt is calling it. He took off the mask, and he makes the grab. 1 pitch, 1 out for Kyle Dunning. So the first hitter in Kendro is retired, and now we'll flip it up to the top of the order where we got Daniel Patterson. He's 0 for 3 on the day after he reached on an error in the 5th inning. After that play by JT Rick on that throw that went into the outfield. It's a slider that clips the outer half of the zone for strike 1. Broke quite a bit, but stayed in there for a strike. Kyle Dunning, also a guy who likes to work quickly. Here he comes again with another slider, misses upstairs. It's now at 1-1. We're reaching the twilight zone here at Sinsheimer Stadium. A little difficult to see the balls in the air. Slider again taken for a strike, 1-2. Well, let's talk about the shadows and the lights. I think the most difficult setting to field a pop fly is in that twilight sky. Here's the slider again, fouled straight back by Patterson, battling in 1-2. It's just a mix of the night and the day sky. It's very easy to lose the ball in a setting like this. It kind of just blends into the backdrop. Dunning again with the slider, misses just outside, and the Blues dugout wanted it. But it just missed away. Now 2-2 to Daniel Patterson. Patterson also popping out to Darcy earlier in this game, also striking out, swinging through the slider, foul tipping it back into the mask of Bold. Patterson, tenacious hitter. He's not going to go down without a fight. Certainly not an easy out. That's why he's in the leadoff spot. So with an even count at 2-2, Kyle Dunning comes set, comes home, slider once again, foul down the left field line. Making Dunning throwing quite a bit of pitches here. 6 so far in this at-bat. Time is called as they go to retrieve the foul ball. Dunning, a native of Enumclaw, Washington. That sounds familiar. That's where his shortstop, Cody Darcy, also grew up. Comes home again, slider. This one's lifted out to center field. Jariah Lewis coming in on it, and on his feet, he makes the grab. Great range by Lewis out there, the San Jose center fielder, to grab out number 2. You can kind of tell even here in the press box, that ball was in the air. I lost it myself for a second there. Good thing Jariah Lewis saw it all the way in, though. He makes the running grab for the second out. So now quickly we see Max Ballou, one of those dangerous hitters in the lineup. And he'll take two-seam fastball low in the dirt for a ball. Entering this game, as a reminder, batting .403. 27 hits and 67 at-bats. 13 RBI, 3 home runs. Left-handed hitter out of Texas, native of Aledo, Texas. The rising sophomore on the 1-1 count takes the fastball out in the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Forcer's just looking for some sort of spark to come back into this game. Ballou takes a slider that floats into the middle of the strike zone. Counts now 2-2. Kyle Dunning delivers, misses away with the fastball. We're full. Again, it's got to be Dunning's best pitch here. Like the slider's working well from him. He goes for the 2-seamer, skied out there into shallow left field. Who's got it? Blanchette's got it. He comes down with it for the 3rd out. So Kyle Dunning sees 3 batters. He gets all of them out. It's still 7-1 here as we head into the bottom of the 7th inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. Zach Coletti stays out there for the Santa Barbara Foresters after escaping the jam there in the 6th inning with the bases loaded. Doesn't allow a single run to cross home. And now Giovanni Blanchette, who made the put out for the final out at the top of the 7th, will now get a crack at it here against the right-hander from Texas. Here's the 0-0. Fastball swung right through for strike 1. Once again, this is Nate Mills taking over for Jack Smith, feeling a little under the weather after starting today's game. I'll be manning the play-by-play for the evening. Here's the 0-1, taken for a ball inside. Blanchette evens it at 1-1. Here's Blanchette again from the windup. Taken again for a ball. It's 2-1. We mentioned Giovanni Blanchette heading to the CCL 30 showcase game down in Compton, California. Congrats to him. Him and Theo Hardy, who's listed as an alternate on the sheet, will be heading down there. Here's the 2-1 cracked towards third base. Kendrow's got it. Goes over to first and in time. Good 90 by Giovanni Blanchette, but not enough for against the throw of Kendrow, who records the first out of the inning on the 5-3 putout. Now Cody Darcy will stroll on up there. He walked in his last at-bat after striking out twice. Rolling out there with a new walk-up song today, changing up the mojo. Here's Darcy swinging through the fastball on the first pitch. It's now 0-1. Blues want to keep this party going as we head into the final third of this game. Wanting to leave no doubt on the field against SB, who leads the CCL South. That one is skipped in the dirt for ball 1. Blues have really turned their year around just within the past 3 games. Swinging early in counts, capitalizing with runners in scoring position, putting pressure on the base paths. And, of course, that pitching has just been great all year as Darcy ropes one down the left field line. Here he goes rounding first base. Rogers grabs it off the wall, and Darcy will hold up at second. He's got a 1-out double. Great swing by Cody Darcy. He gets a fastball inner cut and just ropes it down the line. Kendrow doesn't even make a play on it. Now Darius Price looking to trade places with the Arkansas State shortstop. DP today, 3 strikeouts, all swinging. And strikeout number starting to tally up for the Blues. That really hasn't been the story of their season as a whole. They really just started out as a team that walked a whole lot and just capitalized on the free ones. But in the past few weeks, I feel like they've really tallied up their strikeout numbers as Price takes one for a strike. It's a slider. That was a little outside, but taken for a strike nonetheless. 11 Ks on the day for the Blues as we're through 6.1 here at Sinsheimer. Darcy creeping off second base. Coletti comes home. Price takes upstairs. Counts now at 1-1. Darius Price, also the walk-off hero. Walk-off against the Caneo Oaks a few weeks ago. They paid the price. Coletti on the third base side of the rubber gets Price to swing through that looping curveball. Price now falls to 1-2. And this is a familiar spot for him this evening. Just need to change that approach a bit. If I were him, I'd screw up on the plate a little more. Also, up in the box. He is choking up on the bat. Once again, half an inch as Coletti wants to review the signs again. Coletti from the stretch. Tosses the ball in his left hand, comes set. That closed toe, closed hip stance that we've been seeing. Finally comes home and Price swings right through a fastball. So Price gets the golden sombrero on the day, 4 Ks, and that'll flip the lineup over to Jariah Lewis. Lewis grounded out to second in his last at bat. But as of late has earned the reputation of capitalizing with runners in scoring position. The grand slam in yesterday's game against the Caneo Oaks, which really just lit a fire underneath the SLO Blues offensively. They haven't looked back since, putting up 7 runs today. And Coletti comes home and Lewis takes the first pitch for a ball. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Cody Darcy on second base after the double down the left field line. Now the leadoff batter, Jariah Lewis. He's 1 for 4 on the day. He had a double back in the 2nd inning. Another fastball taken inside, 2-0. Another nice night here at Sinsheimer Stadium as the planes fly overhead. And Lewis wanted a pitch that he can smack right here. Up at hitter's count, 2-0. He gets one and swings right through it. Falls now to 2-1. On deck is Jacob Ruley. He's reached base in all 4 of his at-bats today. But for now, it's Lewis with 2 outs. San Jose center fielder. Here's Coletti on the 2-1. Lewis swings right through it again, count now even at 2. So 2-2 and 2 outs. Jariah Lewis with 2 big cuts consecutively. Wanting to keep it alive here in the 7th, and you got a runner in scoring position. Coletti again. Lewis swings right through it. Cody Darcy gets stranded at second base when Jariah Lewis swings through a fastball to strike out. We'll now head into the 8th inning. It's still the SLO Blues up 7-1 on the SLO Blues streaming network. the top of the 8th inning, now it's a good time to tell you about the CCL Showcase game as we continue the celebration of the league's 30th season. Watch the CCL 30 Showcase game on Wednesday, July 12th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Valley Sports TV. The CCL's top players will showcase their talents at the MLB Youth Academy in Compton, California. Pre-game workouts begin at 3 p.m., followed by the inaugural Showcase Home Run Derby. Tickets will be available at the gate. Be sure to follow on social media using the hashtag CCL30years for more. So the first batter of this inning will be Eamon Lance, and he'll wear it off the shoulder. The first pitch of the inning. The Santa Barbara Foresters slowly running out of time as they're down by 6 runs here in the top of the 8th inning. Still working on my scoreboard skills. But 7-1, and Bold will have a conversation with his right-hander from CSU Bakersfield. Will Rogers. Last time he was up, cranked a 100-mile-an-hour bomb into left field. It was against Marcelo Saldana. Now it's a different story here with Kyle Dunning. He's got Eamon Lance over there at first base. Foresters need to get something going here with Boston Warkington warming up in the bullpen. This one's popped up, out of play, foul into the orange seats. So Dunning goes after it, strike 1. Warkington, the UW Husky, getting ready out there. Closed the door against the Foresters back at Pershing Park just a few days ago. But for now, it's Kyle Dunning. He's got a runner on, and here's the slider that barely misses inside. Here's Dunning again to Will Rogers on a 1-1 count. No one out. Slider again. Rolls it over to Ricken. Ricken flips it over to first. Ruley has no throw. And so on the fielder's choice, Will Rogers will reach. The ground ball to JT Ricken. Did a good job getting it to Jake Ruley. A good hustle there by Eamon Lance to disrupt the throw, and Ruley just held on to it. So now there's one out, and Will Rogers will be at first base. Now it's Anthony Silva, the TCU Horned Frog. Silva takes the slider that kicks away from Jake Bold, and Will Rogers will cruise into second base. It's moments like those that Santa Barbara got to capitalize on. Sounds like I'm talking about the Blues here. But the Blues have flipped the script offensively, as we can see here, with the 10 hits and the 7 runs on the day. Anthony Silva here after a trip to Omaha, now here in San Luis Obispo, taking the slider again in the dirt. Now up 2-0. Silva struck out looking, flew out to left, was hit by a pitch in his last at bat. Here's Dunning. Another slider. This one's in there for a strike. Now 2-1 to Silva. Anthony Silva playing shortstop today for the Santa Barbara Foresters. He's got a runner in scoring position in Will Rogers, the ASU Sun Devil, and a big right center gap, also a big right field line, as another slider from Dunning is swung through. Counts now even at 2-2. A great job by Dunning coming back down 2 balls and 2 sliders in the dirt. He just has that confidence still to go at him again. Makes Silva chase. Makes him take. Here's a fastball. Just misses up in the zone. Count is now full. A full count here with 1 out. Foresters wanting to make something happen. Dunning again. Fastball just outside for ball 4. So Anthony Silva draws the walk Second time he reaches base today on the free one. And now Jalen Flores, who flew out to center in his last at-bat, gets a shot against Kyle Dunning. There is a right-hander warming up in the Santa Barbara bullpen. So perhaps a new arm coming against the Blues offense at the bottom of this inning. It's a pop-up. Jake Bold can't see it. He has his mask in his right hand, and he dives and can't make it. It's a weird play. Like I mentioned earlier, that twilight sky, pretty sure you can tell here. It's a weird color. The ball blends right into it. Bold definitely couldn't see it off the bat. I think he saw it for a second there, took a few steps, and then lost it at the last second. That's where you saw that dive. But it's 0-1 here on Jalen Flores. One out with runners on first and second. This one's cranked out to left center field. Jariah Lewis is going to be the closest one there. It's going to one-hop the wall. Will Rogers is going to score. 2-run score on the double. And Jalen Flores capitalizes on the hit by pitch and the fielder's choice. And the Foresters tack on 2 more. It's 7-3. Real nice swing coming out of Jalen Flores. Like the best hit. That's the best hit ball I've really seen him hit all year in the contest with the Blues. Comes through in a big spot. Brings the Foresters closer to tying this one up. Now trailing by just 4. Still only 1 out in the inning as we have a meeting here in the infield. Just resetting here with Dunning. So Eamon Lance and Will Rogers score on the double by Flores. Still 1 out here. So now Rocco Garza-Gongora. He singled in his last at-bat. And he gets an opportunity here to make it hurt even more for the Blues. First pitch from Dunning is low and away in the dirt. It's a fastball for ball 1. Garza-Gongora also lined out to first, flew out to center. On the year batting .224. 5 RBIs. Second pitch taken in there for a strike. Oklahoma Sooner out of Texas takes a slider in for a strike. He's now 1-2. Here's the 1-2, swung on and fisted out of play. So on a Will Rogers, or excuse me, on a Jalen Flores double, brings home 2 runs. And now 1-2 is Rocco Garza-Gongora, wanting to add some more. Dunning, fastball upstairs. Now 2-2. Counts now even, and Boston Workington still working over there in the bullpen. 1 out here. Here's the 2-2. Pop foul once again. And Garza-Gongora not making it easy here for Kyle Dunning. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning. In the top of the 8th, excuse me. Dunning pumping the left foot. Comes home, slider over to Jacob Ruley. He's got it. Goes over to first. Hansen's there for the scoop for the second out of the inning. So on the ground out to second base, Flores will reach third. Now for Rylan Galvan, another run 90 feet away. Galvan also a little grounder to first base, a walk and a strikeout. Time called. Kyle Dunning just wanting to get out of this inning here. He's got 2 outs now after the ground ball to Jake Ruley. That slider's in there for a strike. A little inconsistent with the slider there. Sometimes he'll miss in the dirt, up in the air, or it's just perfect. He's just got to find a way to hit the shoestring and find the happy middle. Here's a slider snagged by Ricken over at third base. Wow, what a grab. So the lunging effort by the Oregon Duck, JT Ricken, bails out Kyle Dunning. The Santa Barbara Foresters do grab 2, but the SLO Blues are still up 7-3. We head into the bottom of the 8th on the SLO Blues streaming network. New arm here for the Santa Barbara Foresters. It's Greg Pace. Yeah, not listed as a pitcher on the roster. It's, in fact, an outfielder out of Detroit, Michigan from the University of Michigan. This guy's no scrub. He's hitting 90 miles an hour right now on the fastball, and the slider's looking very good as well. I have no pitching statistics to tell you on him. I'll just tell you a part of his impressive resume. He's ranked the 2nd outfielder and the 5th overall player in Michigan by perfect game out of high school, an Under Armour All-American, and also an MLB Draft Combine participant in this year's Combine. Excuse me, in last year's Combine, where he was drafted in the 20th round by the Blue Jays. This guy's no joke. We got a pure athlete out here on the mound for Santa Barbara. He's going to be facing Massiangelo and Ruley. It's going to be Ruley leading it off, Massiangelo, then JT Ricken, who just made that stellar play to finish out the bottom of the 8th inning. But for now, it's Jacob Ruley, the .241 hitter on the year. No extra base hits for the Roadrunner. This is not that bad. He can really take off. I mean, this guy's got some stuff up there. On deck is Massiangelo, but we're here in the top of the 9th inning. The Blues lead 7-3. That fastball is taken low at 91 miles an hour. How about that? Kind of making it look easy. It doesn't even. It looks like he belongs up there. Usually you'll see a position guy come in and you're like, yeah, something is not right. He's really making himself at home as this 90-mile-an-hour fastball almost hits Ruley. He dodged out of the way of that one. It's 1-1. Bill Pinter not wanting to use Some high leverage arms in this situation, down 4, but I mean, this guy seems pretty high leverage to me. He's got the stuff. Fastball is driven out to left field. Going back is Rogers, leaps and makes the grab. Thought this was a ball that was certainly going to burn the Arizona State left fielder. But he does a good job converging on it, makes the leap at the last second for the first out of the inning. Well struck by Jacob Rulli, but it's not enough for extra bases. So Greg Pace records his first out of the inning, and now it's Matt Massiangelo. Reach base, 4 out of 4 at-bats. With that flyout, Rulli loses his on-base streak of 4 at-bats. See if Massiangelo can one-up him here, either get a walk or knock. But for now, he takes the first pitch, fastball outside for a ball. Massiangelo hitting .364 on the air, just has 11 at-bats. Heading into this game, he was .364. He takes another pitch outside for ball 2. Getting in a hitter's count. Got to get one you love. 2 league doubles, 5 league walks, only 1 league strikeout. Heading into this game. Very valuable, especially in today's way of play. Strikeout numbers have increased, but not for Massiangelo as he takes this fastball in for a strike. And at 90, Pace is just sitting there. I did the research on him. I never saw any pitching statistics. So this is genuinely taking me by surprise. Didn't see any high school appearances, didn't see any showcase. This is just being an athlete. Another fastball. Looks like a cutter. Misses for a ball upstairs. 3-1. So now another hitter's count is Massiangelo. JT Ricken awaiting on deck. Massiangelo 2 for 2 on the day. A walk and a hit by pitch. Here's a fastball. Clips the inside corner for a strike. Counts now full to the left-handed Roadrunner. Massiangelo takes a deep breath. Spits on the gloves. Digs into the box. Greg Pace at the belt. Comes home. Fastball inside, ball 4. So now Massiangelo will have some bragging rights against his teammate Jacob Rulli as he successfully reaches base in all 5 of his at-bats. With the walk there, it will bring up JT Ricken. Ricken 1 for 3 on the day. He had a single and scored back in the 5th. Also had a walk the following inning. He's just made some great plays over there at third base. Been a little in and out of that spot ever since new players have come into the Blues, and he dealt with a foot injury recently, but he grounds this one over to Silva, who's having some trouble. Bobbles it. Ricken reaches safely. Massiangelo reaches second safely. So a rare sight out of the TCU Horned Frog as he can't even pick up the ball off the dirt. Real tough feeling there over for Silva. That's just got to be so frustrating. I'm sure with each pickup, you're getting more shaking with rage. And he just never came up with it at all. There was not even a throw or a pat of the glove, as now Jake Bold, with runners on first and second and 1 out, takes the first pitch for a ball upstairs. So Ricken reaches on error. The shortstop and Silva. Now it's Jake Bold. He's got 2 hits today. It's 2 for 4, and he takes the errant fastball 2-0. There's another moment for the Blues here. You want to respond to the 2 more runs that the Foresters got in the last inning. With some explosion here. Nice pace placed fastball. And Galvan tries to backpick all the way to second base. Luckily, Flores was paying attention. Otherwise, that throw was destined for the head of Massiangelo. His head was down, and Galvan tried to go with the snap throw. Third time he's tried it tonight. He hasn't been successful yet. But now Jake Bold in a 2-1 count. Pace delivers. Slider in there for a strike. Good movement. The sweeper. Catches the outer half of the zone. Jake Bold now has to fight with 2 strikes. Right side of the infield wide open for the right-handed hitting catcher. As Flores holds him on. Yanked fastball goes awry. And they go station to station. JT Ricken reaches second, and Massiangelo reaches third. Now it makes it a little easier here for Jake Bold. In a full count, 3-2. On the pass ball, both runners advance to the base in front of them. Infield converging in now. This is one of those scenarios you put yourself in the batting practice bubble. See if he can translate it into the game here. Bold spoils this one foul, out of play. Stays alive, 3-2. At least that's the rounds we did at Palomar College last year when I played. Hit and run, move them over, infield back, infield in. If you didn't get one of those, you run a pole. That's JUCO baseball, baby. Here's Bold again. Swinging through the fastball and striking out is the catcher. So now 2 outs in the inning after the strikeout to Jake Bold. Got the fastball blown by him. And Jason Hansen now with runners at second and third. Really wanted to bring him home here and really just seal the deal for San Luis Obispo. Hansen rocking the Taylor Swift walk-up song. Questionable pick, say the least, as he spoils off his first offering foul. Wouldn't call myself a Swiftie. I know there's a whole lore of Taylor Swift out there that people could write novels about. Maybe Jason Hansen included. Whenever we hang out with him off the field, on the field and whatnot, as this one's taken for a ball. Whenever Taylor Swift is on, he knows all of the words. This man is not ashamed. Honestly, good for him. But he stands up there with 1 base hit today. He's 1 for 4. He's got a strikeout. Popped out to right twice. And he swings through the fastball here. And he falls to 1-2. Runners at second and third here. SLO Blues down to their final out here in the 9th inning. Got some speed there at second and at third. Here's Hansen. Pulls it over to Kendro. He makes the easy throw over the first base, and we're going to head into the top of the 9th inning, where it looks like Boston Workington may come in to shut the door. Looks like he is. Stay tuned with us on the SLO Blues streaming network as the UW Husky tries to close this one out. noodle out there for the SLO Blues. It's the Canadian out of Ladner, British Columbia. No relation to Robbie Lardner, the former starter for the SLO Blues. It's Boston Workington. Got an unbelievable 3-inning win against the Foresters. We had 1 walk, no runs, and 3 strikeouts. It's really one of the heroes of that game down in Pershing Park. But on the year so far and in league play, he's had 6.2 innings pitched and a 1.35 ERA, 10 strikeouts. One of the guys, he's just got the best stuff on the team. We've mentioned that numerous times, but it's worth mentioning again. Boston Workington with the fastball and that devious slider. And the first one we see is the slider in there for a ball. And the first hitter he'll face is, in fact, Kendro. Jake Kendra out of Tennessee, native of Pennsylvania. Takes a fastball low in the zones. 2-0 now. But Workington, he can beat you with the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. He touched 93 at Caneo Oaks for the final out of the game. But then when that slider is on, man, is it on. Workington comes again with the slider out of the zone. Falling now to 3-0 on the count. Going to have to come in here with a fastball. Kendra most likely taking all the way here. Foresters down by 4. It's a fastball taken for a ball. Awfully close, but it's just a little out of the zone. And to lead off the inning, Jake Kendra will walk. So not the start you want from Boston Workington. And he's still got an opportunity to straighten out here with a 4-run lead. Looks like we're going to have a meeting over here with Daniel Patterson and his third base coach and head coach Bill Pintard. Just going over the game plan. Sure if it's close enough to trade out for a base here with a bunt. That would set it up for Max Ballou, though, the team's most lethal hitter on the year. But Daniel Patterson heading into this one, he's dangerous himself. Coming into this game, .328 on the batting average. 9 stolen bases, he can run. And he takes the first pitch for a strike. Also 6 RBIs on the year. It's not a guy to shake your head at either. Been really good against the SLO Blues. Here's a slider. This one's in there for strike 2. Slider hopefully starting to come alive here for Boston. Really wants to get that pitch working if he wants to make this a smooth ride home. Workington comes in 0-2, and this one's served foul down the right field line. Getting some soft contact. That's Workington's specialty. Just making hitters get uncomfortable swings if they even swing at all. Usually they just take a look at that slider. That just bites so much. Looking to see it bite here with Kendra on first base. Here's the 0-2 offering and misses inside. Ball and 2 strikes. To the Westmont College first baseman. NAIA champions. Just down the street from Santa Barbara Community College, where the Foresters play their home games. Workington's 1-2 offering is chopped up the middle. Theo Hardy, who was subbed in at the top of this inning, flips over to first after touching second for the double play. Excuse me, it looks like that was Cody Darcy, who did stay in the game. Moved awfully a lot like Theo there. Could be an impressionist. But it's Cody Darcy who comes in on the chopper, taps on second base, makes a throw over to Jason Hansen, and just like that, we got 2 outs here. And the last guy, hopefully, Workington will have to face is Max Ballou. As we've said, the most lethal hitter in this lineup. Workington comes in 0-0. This one's hard hit to Darcy on the backhand, across his body to first, and the SLO Blues clutch this win. The SLO Blues get a crucial win against the Santa Barbara Foresters at home at Sinsheimer. God, guys, they're in a 3-game win streak. Good to see the Blues get hot here. And they do the handshake line, a sight that hopefully we can get comfortable seeing here heading down the stretch. And once again, this is something the SLO Blues needed for a win today. Just firing on all cylinders. They got the base hits when they needed them, tallying up a total of 10 hits, bringing across a total of 7 runs while still capitalizing on the free ones. The strikeout tally is starting to ramp up a little bit there, but nonetheless, the pitching was great, allowing just 6 hits and 3 runs. And that's enough for the Blues to come away with a win. They do one of the best traditions in Summer League baseball. It's the hats off to the crowd. Excellent crowd here at Sinsheimer once again tonight, supporting on their SLO Blues. So now we head into the All-Star Showcase break. Coming out of the break, we'll face the Arroyo Seco Saints at their crib on Thursday. But for now, it's a 7-3 win for the San Luis Obispo Blues. They improved to 9-10 on their league record. This has been Nate Mills filling in for Jack Smith on the SLO Blues streaming network. We hope you guys have a great night. Go Blues!